isn't no funeral home. This ain't the Terror Dome neither. Welcome to Exploding Heads, motherfuckers.
Very good, Mr. Sims.
That's his name, Sims?
Yeah, Sims Funeral Home.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see? Always on point. Okay. Yeah, in case anyone didn't know what that was from, that's from Tales from the Hood. That's one of the movies we're doing tonight. So, this is Exploding Heads, and this is episode number 7.
You got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, it took a while to get it out there, but it's there now.
Yes. Lucky number 7. Okay. Well, we have a few orders of business to take care of right off the bat. Oh, gentlemen, Brandon, Christian. Actually, I didn't introduce myself either. I just did a gag. So, fuck it. Let's not introduce ourselves tonight. They know who we are, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, to the nasally and whiny fans, yeah.
Nasally and cute.
Nasally and cute.
Tristan loves us.
Yes.
He's so gnarly.
Oh, Tristan? Gnarly?
No, I was talking about the drug that you shoot up your nose to clear it out.
Oh, Dristan. Does that shit still exist?
I have no clue.
Boy,
it's going to be a joke that's going to be edited out of the show. So,
okay, then I will not elaborate on it. Continue. Okay. We have a few things going on here. We're talking about well, actually, this one was Christian's idea. We're going to have a different. We're still sticking with our numbers, our rating system, but we're going to have a different rating system as well because we always forget that other one. So there must be something wrong with it, you know. So Christian, do you know offhand the new format you've come up with for the ratings?
I figured, yeah, if we absolutely love the movie, it gets an exploding head. That means that it just, like, head blown, just an awesome film.
Head blown, always good.
Yeah. No matter how you look at it.
Yeah, an exploding head, too. Yes.
On the reverse side of that, on the total opposite end, I thought it should be a head implosion. Meaning the movie was just so bad, just so horrible, our heads caved in with hatred.
Okay.
For the film.
So
and then
imploding is the worst.
Yeah.
Exploding, of course, is the best. Okay.
Yeah, and then in the middle there was so if the movie's good, it's a half hit explode. There wasn't that much creativity there. Like, you know, just like half the head blown through. A middling or just totally average movie would be, you know, a mild rumble with some eye, ear, and nose bleeding.
So that's what we say? I want to give it a mild rumble with an eye, ear, and nosebleed?
Hey. Yeah.
That's not right. I have a feeling that every time we do it, I'm going to be looking to you to say, what's that one called?
Yeah, that's fun. And
I'm trying to write these down.
Right.
Yeah. A poor film is just no reaction. It just left us, like, absolutely no reaction whatsoever. And that would be before the absolutely bomb of a film, which would be the total head implosion.
So a bad film is actually the best possible scenario then, because then you get no symptoms whatsoever.
We want our heads. No. We want our heads blown.
Yes, we do.
In more ways than one. Yeah.
Yes, of course we do.
So no reaction whatsoever.
No reaction is second from the end, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's second.
I'll take no reaction. I don't want my head to explode.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yes, you do. On this show, you do.
Yeah. On this show you do, buddy.
In most cases, you should. Unless there's blood involved, then no.
If it's John Carpenter's thing, head explode.
Yes. Yes. So no reaction is like a number 2 out of 5, basically.
Yeah.
It's no reaction. It's not as bad as like a piece of shit that angers you. That's an implosion.
Yeah.
Right? So
like
it's a no reaction. I can dig it. So it's no reaction. It's head explode. No. It's implode from 1 to 5. It's implode is the bottom. Then no reaction. Yeah. And then 3 was that crazy long one. What was it?
Mild rumble.
Mild rumble?
A mild rumble.
Okay.
With some eye, ear, and nose bleeding.
Okay, there you go. Eye, ear, and nose. Isn't it like a doctor?
ENT.
Ear, nose guy?
Ear, nose, throat.
Right, there you thank you. And 4 is a half head, right?
Half head.
A half head. That's just okay.
Yeah, no, I won't even get into it.
And 5 would be obviously an exploding head. Boom. Okay.
Full blown, yeah.
Full blown. Yeah. Wow, we got just all these double entendres for everything we say. It's pretty fucking cool. Who knew when we said exploding heads? Wow. But yeah, now we're sticking with the numbers, of course. 1 to 10 is sticking, and we've decided finally. We've gone back and forth on how to do it. We are going to have a Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame is it's the combined rating of 28. Correct, 28, guys.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it.
So if any movie is a combined 28, doesn't matter how. It could be 2 10s and an 8. Could be a 10 9 and an 8. Whatever it is. 28 is a Hall of Fame.
It can't be a 10, 9, and an 8.
No? Oh, you're right. That's 27. Damn it. Yeah,
Math is not his forte.
And I was a blackjack dealer for fucking years.
You was giving blackjack out of 20. Oh, you win again. Oh, this guy's hot.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 22. Dealer busts. Yeah. So yeah, we're sticking with it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna have a very bottom one, which I don't know. What are we gonna call it? The Hall of Shame or
Hall
Lame?
of Shame or Hall of Lame?
Lame, I think, is cool. I think shame's been done. I don't think anyone's had a Hall of Lame.
Right, Hall of Lame.
And a Hall of Lame is what, 9 or less, right?
What is it?
9?
9 or less? Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. You everyone agree?
Yeah, you guys never give out 3s though, so that's going to be difficult.
You gave out a 3 last show.
Oh, you got right.
I gave out a
Damn
0.
right. Yeah,
That's true. Brandon gave out a 0.
That is true.
I'm dishing out goose eggs.
Wow. Shit. So it'll happen. There will be some lames. Hopefully not too many. I don't want to cover too many shit movies. So, but
I
we'll
hear
see.
you.
Okay, so that's that. iTunes. A lot of people, because we mentioned it on the last show and the show before, I said subscribe, as I always say. And I said if you want to get involved in our contests, the way to do it is to leave us a review. And I also, I was hoping we get reviews, and once we get 10, we get noticed. Right now we have 9 reviews, all 5-star, thank you. And we have 6 written reviews. So we're doing pretty good. One more review will get us noticed, so anybody out there, just go, and you don't have to write if you don't want to, but just give us something so we get a little more, a little more action. Because we're trying to spread the word here. It's only show 7. This is, I say it every week. It's a work in progress. So, but thank you to everybody, and the iTunes is blowing up. And please subscribe. And remember, I'll say it one more time. It's going to be 2 more shows I have to say this, but if you're getting this on the Banana Laser feed, get off of that and go on the Exploding Heads feed. It's all on iTunes. It's all on Horophilia. And we're all over. And Christian just noticed that we were some strange place I didn't even know that we were.
Oh, Podbean. Well, that's where I host. That's the site that I use for TGIF 13. Ba-da-boo. And I thought you had to actually do your podcast through that site to be on that. But I guess Jason Lloyd and Horophilia, the Horophilia Network, he's linked all the podcasts to that. So we actually have a dedicated page for Exploding Heads Horror Podcast on Podbean, which I thought was great. And we already had 173 and counting. There might even be more now followers on that, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. So the heads are growing. The heads are growing.
Double entendres, left, right, and center.
Yeah, yes. So yeah, I won't beat everybody over the head with the same thing I say every week. Just do what you can. Spread the word, subscribe, do what you got to do, and help us out here. So, and that's that. Spoilers. We're going to try to, you've probably noticed we haven't really been doing too many lately. We're trying to take the non-spoiler approach as much as we can. However, with some new movies and where a twist, if you will, really matters, we are going to put it in at the end still. But we're going to try our best to keep that as the very last thing we say at the end of the show before we say goodbye. So we had we had the listener in mind at all times. So we're trying to make it. There hasn't been a whole lot of feedback, but I think that's, what people want. And
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
What's that?
Shit.
Who?
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Fucker.
Talking about Die Hard
Sorry.
2?
Fuck. Yeah. Spoilers. Any more? No? No more
I
spoilers.
think it's safe to say we here at Exploding Heads are stoked by all the positive feedback we're getting.
Yes.
Sorry, you guys are making so many.
It can't be helped. They just write themselves these jokes. It just happens. I don't know if they're funny, but they just fall right out of our mouth.
They are funny.
Whoa, nothing's been falling out of my mouth. Hey, what's
Nothing's
going
been
on?
going in it,
This is a
right?
family-friendly show. Hey,
Yeah. So, well, speaking of that, let me move on to something else. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's been a resurgence among a certain person, a celebrity, if you will. And I went on Showtime the other day because I was trying to watch something, and I noticed that somebody on Showtime, I believe this spring, is going to be given a new show. And it's someone that we've discussed here before. And does anybody know who I'm talking about? No.
Dexter, is
Toxic
it?
Avenger.
Nope. Here's a hint. Nope. This guy's
Toxic-
having. Who?
It's Clay.
Oh, you're talking about, because he's in Vinyl too, the Martin
No.
Scorsese thing. No, this is his show. Yeah. It's like a, is it a sitcom or is it a reality TV?
It looks like a mixture of both. It's hard to say what it is. I just saw it advertised the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and they had the audacity. Can you believe it? They're calling this show Dice. They're
Not Clay?
Not Clay. Can't believe
The
it.
Sorry to
audacity.
hear the gym business didn't work out.
But I couldn't believe it when I saw that shit. I'm like, who the fuck has talked about Clay in a long time, right?
Hey, I actually he had a reality TV show that came out a long time ago now. I actually liked that one because everybody and anybody was getting a reality TV show. They were starting to get, I don't know, stale. It didn't do very well, and from the sounds of it, not many people did like it. But my wife and I actually really liked it because it was like him sort of trying to do the comeback, like saying, "Hey, look, this is where I've been, and now I'm trying to work on my career again." And he wanted to like sell it a massive stadium where the Jets play. Is it Jet Stadium? I don't even know what
it's not Jet Stadium. It's Meadowlands. I don't know what it is now.
Anyway,
some corporate. That's the answer.
So, or where the Giants play. Maybe it was the Giants.
Same place. They
Okay.
play in the same place.
All right. Well, there. But even his manager wasn't having anything to do with it. Say, buddy, be realistic. And of course, Clay got pissed off then, and it was just that. But it was done very reality as some skittish type comedy. But it was fun, and it bombed. There's 6 episodes, and I think it was on VH1, and then it's called Dice Undisputed, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Well, Undisputed. No, that was something else. That was Mike Tyson Undisputed. My bad, I got confused because that was good too. But yeah, Dice. He's back. He's calling himself Dice. He's not going with. I just found it so weird that as the exploding heads grow, he's growing too. It's just
Yeah, I would have called it modeling Clay.
modeling Clay.
For whatever reason, I think Dice got him a little bit more popularity than Clay.
Or a roll of the dice.
Roll there. Well, he had a podcast too called Rolling with Dice and Wheels. Which
What?
Wheels.
Oh, if you haven't heard that podcast,
What?
check it
Wheels?
out. The first
Is it? What? Are you
Wheels
serious?
Wheels Parisi. He's like a stand-up comedian that he's been in like his old movies and stuff like that. They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, he always features them on his like stand-up
Yeah,
specials.
yeah. He's a bigger guy. He's lost a lot of weight now, so I don't know if he's a big guy
He's
anymore.
funny.
But he's actually got a good routine as well. However, the podcast is absolutely fantastic for the first like 10 episodes. They do a lot of shtick where he pretends that he doesn't know where the show plays and doesn't know what a podcast is. Keeps telling him he goes to the radio, doesn't know what channel it's on, stuff like that. That gets a little stale, but the show itself, when they're actually recording new episodes, I'd say listen to the first 10 episodes at least, and then the recorded phone call ones are probably not as interesting, but worth checking out. I think I listened to all of them. He ran it for about a year and change, and then they kind of fell off and didn't make it anymore.
Fucking Clay. He keeps himself busy, huh?
Yeah, running a gym.
Running a gym. But yeah, I couldn't get over that. I was getting ready to watch something, and I saw this advertisement come on, and I was like, "You got to be fucking sure." We've been talking about this guy every week, and I haven't seen him anywhere in the longest time. And then I see this commercial, I'm like, "What the fuck, fucking Clay?" But I guess if we were more popular, then he might decide to call himself Clay at this point. But I guess he's got to stick with Dice for a little while longer. A couple years from now, who knows? It's we'll see. Maybe we'll be the next big podcast. He'll be a guest on it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to talk about that one cliffhanger about David Bowie? The creepiness of that?
Wow.
So you made mention. You tell the story? Why am I going to tell it?
I don't know.
Your story.
Well, I mean, everyone was here with me and listening. We did it. We happened to record episode 5, the Clive Barker special, on the night of the passing of David Bowie. Now we didn't know this. We started recording at 9:15 like we always do. And I did a joke about, which is the line from Toxic Avenger. You know, he asked me he said he was going to take me to the David Bowie concert. He's not David Bowie. So I opened the show with that joke. And wouldn't you know it, 2 hours later is when the world found out that he passed away. So that was pretty fucked up. I was actually concerned. I'm like, man, I hope people don't think that I'm ribbing on the
Yeah, because the timing
Bowie.
was, because it was released 2 weeks later.
Right.
But yeah, it was weird. Because the next day, it was all over the news. I'm like, did Dave know this before we recorded? Because I know he was using the line for the Toxic Avenger, but still, like, to fit it in there and whatever. It's just like odd timing.
Crazy. And even if I didn't like him, and I am a fan, but even if I didn't, I would never make a joke like that on anybody's passing. It's just fucking, it was just so weird. But I'll tell you what, this is the second time this has happened in recent memory to me. And about 4 months ago, I forgot how long it was, Scott Weiland from STP, he passed away. Now, I'm a big fucking Weiland fan as well, but I was doing a podcast. I was guesting on Evil Episodes podcast, also on Horrorphilia Network. And at the time, I had become a frequent guest. I was on like 3 out of 5 shows. They asked me on a couple times. I came on, had fun, did a couple of shows. So I came on, and Mike Merriman, the host of the show, said something about, hey, Dave's here again, and something else, and I forgot what it was. And I said, I'm stuck here in the Vaseline, which is a lyric from Scott Weiland. Well, after we got off that night, about an hour later, fucking Scott Weiland was announced that he passed away. So
Probably that
Don't
joke.
quote anyone tonight.
Yeah.
Please don't quote anyone tonight.
right.
You're like that cat in the hospital that goes to lay by somebody because he knows that person's going to be dead by morning. Whatever name pops up out of Dave's head tonight, you're dead by morning.
Oh,
no,
why don't we
Clay.
Do you want to test
yes.
this theory?
Oh,
Let's test
shit,
this
what-
theory. No, don't. Yeah, maybe not Andrew Dice Clay.
Imagine that if it did happen. Holy fuck.
Okay, well, we'll name someone right now.
It has to come naturally. I can't just pull it out of my ass. It'll probably come up during a review somehow. It's always somebody that isn't in the movie. It's someone, you know what I mean? Bowie wasn't in the movie. He was brought up. The Vaseline joke was just a stupid thing by me, and whatever. It just comes up. So I don't know.
Well, Clay, I would advise that you take it very easy tonight.
Yes.
Or the head of KY. Since you were talking about Vaseline.
Oh fuck! Very good. Okay, do we have any more cliffhangers? I don't think we do. No
Not that I can
cliffhangers.
think of.
I don't even remember them. I'm surprised you guys remember them. I would never even bring one up because I totally forget.
You know why I do know it? I only know because I listen back to the show when it drops, and then I hear it then. I'm like, oh yeah, and then, usually within 3 or 4 days we're recording again, and that's the only reason why. Otherwise, there's no way. I mean,
I've listened back to every show. I don't know if that's weird or not, but
you
No,
gotta.
you gotta check it out. Make sure.
well, that's
You
the
feel
question
like-
I want to ask. At what point does it become creepy and self-indulgent for you to listen to your own podcast?
If you do it more than once.
What, the same episode more than once?
Yeah, which I've done. So I guess I'm creepy and
Well,
self-indulgent.
yeah, but
so-
you're editing, so you have so you're listening. But like for me, I'm listening because I just want to hear how we sound. I'm brand new to podcasting, and the show is brand new, so it's like, at what point is it like, all right, get over yourself, start listening to someone else?
I listen to everybody, and I listen to my shows because, well, more reasons than one. Usually, by the time the show drops, I like to relive the fun time I had anyway. And I might forget the things we discussed in a manner of speaking because I have a shit memory. So for me, it's okay. So there's two reasons to listen, because you just want to hear it, and because you're doing it for entertainment, but you're more doing it for, what's the word, research or quality control, if you will.
R&D, and because we're so damn cute and nasally.
Yeah. Who is the one that's cute and nasally? Has it been established that it's Brandon?
No, I don't know if we didn't we just talk
I don't
about
know
that?
if it's. I should ask the guy who kind of like threw out that insult, but I'm afraid he'll be like, "Fuck you, you all suck."
Yeah.
Do it. What do we got to lose? That could be a
Maybe I
cliffhanger.
will.
It's a cliffhanger.
That's the cliffhanger. I'm gonna find out who's cute and nasally.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So cute and nasally. Stay tuned. If it's not the next show, it'll be the show after. If it's probably going to be the show after, because it always seems to be that way. So it's a cliffhanger that doesn't come out the next episode. It's the one after for some reason. So it's like a super cliffhanger. I don't know. It's fucked up. It's what it is. I'm trying to make sense of it and I can't. But that's what we do. But what we're doing tonight is anthology movies, horror anthology movies. And we're so fortunate that one just came out, so we can talk about a new one and we can talk about an old one. So tonight we're going to talk about Tales from the Hood, and we are going to talk about Southbound. And these are obviously both horror anthologies. And we're going to talk a little bit about horror anthologies. I got a list or two, some stuff to talk about, and that's what we got planned today. So our first review, as always, would be the older movie. It's going to be Tales from the Hood. So, so
Born to Die.
Born to Die. Yeah, isn't that like you know what it reminds me of? Ready to Die, like Biggie Smalls.
Ready to die. Born to die because I'm ready to die.
I wish they could have gotten Biggie Smalls. Oh, I think this was before he was around.
That was Biggie at the beginning. The skeleton with the gold. He lost a little weight. Oh man, dude, I was so uncomfortable. I watched this movie twice, and I've seen this movie like a million times. But man, it is so racist and like uncomfortable watching. But it's just, I told myself, I'm like, you have to behave for this show. I'm like, you got to behave.
Well, but it was executive produced by Spike Lee, which shocked me because I guess because it was a black movie, black cast, black director, screenwriter, the whole nine yards, it's okay. It's when Quentin Tarantino does it, or anybody white, that's when Spike Lee has his problems. That's when Spike Lee's all Spike Lee. And then he talks to you like he's Bill Cosby. Not the Bill Cosby we know now, but the Bill Cosby from before that used to like lecture young black comedians and tell them what they can say and what they can't say in their acts and all this crap. That you're kind of like, who the fuck are you?
He still does that. They're just unconscious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all women.
Yeah, they're all women.
He's knocking out I don't know, Judy Tenuta. I don't fucking know. I can't think of a female comedian off the top of my head. Amy Schumer.
I know that is in about 2 minutes she'll be sucking on a Jell-O pudding pop.
I love me some pudding. Yeah.
I cracked too many of those jokes in TGIF 13. It's almost like it's not even like heartfelt anymore. I'm sorry.
You're just going through the motions.
Yeah, that wasn't my best Jell-O pudding pop joke.
It's all right. We got plenty of time to do more.
But anyway, yeah. But this guy went on to direct, like, and we're going to get into this, so I don't want to, I'll blow my load. Who cares? I love this movie. I saw it in the theater, dragged my girlfriend at the time to it. I think she even enjoyed it. It was a lot. It's a lot of fun, but it is horribly racist. And it's trying to comment on it, but it actually just sort of succeeds at being racist in the process.
Yeah, it's trying to bring up a lot of moral issues, yet it's played out like a campy EC Comics type.
If you told me the KKK film directed this, I would have been like, it makes sense. Kinda, but I know where they're going with it because the guy did go on. He is very tongue in cheek, so that's where they're in that realm. So it could be viewed either way, and I know what he's going for, and that's how I view it. But I mean, you could definitely feel like it plays to the stereotype just as much as making sort of a statement about stereotypes and racism and everything like that. But he
Yeah,
pretty
it
much went
definitely
on.
plays both ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he went on to do like Dave Chappelle, the show.
Yeah,
like sketch
Yeah.
comedy. So like,
Yeah.
the guy's funny. That's for sure. He's a good actor too. Plays the teacher.
yeah.
Oh, that was the guy that was in Chappelle, right? Okay, all right,
Rusty.
right.
Rusty.
I think it goes both ways as far as commentary. I don't think it victimizes anybody too much. I think there's a lot of commentary, but I don't think it's like over the top. It doesn't vilify every white guy that's on there to the degree. I mean, there's
Just Duke.
Duke, of course, yeah, and the cops, but not even only the one cop out of the three. The one cop out of the three was using the term boy, which you don't do,
Yeah.
But the other guys were just assholes. They weren't racist. They weren't dropping N-words. They weren't doing things like that where they were completely vilifying them. And then by the end of the movie, especially in the last one, it took it had an interesting thing to say in the last one where it was basically saying, you're killing more people, or you're killing the same people that the Klan were killing once upon a time with your gangbanging ways and your other stuff. So I thought it was, maybe that one was a little bit heavy-handed, but overall, I think it was done just about right. I wasn't uncomfortable with any of it. It all seemed to make sense, and I love Spike Lee's movies. So maybe that's just me, and it's not a Spike Lee movie, but it is.
Yeah, well, he had something to do with the financing, at least helped out executively.
Yeah,
it's Spike
40
Lee's hit
acres
and
and a
miss
mule.
because I've loved a lot of Spike Lee films, but he's had quite a few misfires as well. But yeah, like as we've talked about, many directors have.
Yeah. That's just the way it goes. He had a great start, I'll tell you that. He was off to the races for his first 5, 6, 7 movies.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh fuck, I love. We won't get into. We'll talk Spike Lee another time.
yeah, he's quality. I'll tell you that. He's definitely quality. But it's like we said. It's they all kind of fizzle out. He's due for a big one. Although I heard What Do You Call It wasn't bad, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, the Old Boy remake?
Yes. Go for it.
Oh, you mean serious? No, I heard it's not good.
No, well, I've heard different things. I've heard some people say if you just take it, if you haven't seen the first Old Boy, the original, and just taking this for a movie, there's not a problem with it. It's just the comparisons that sucked it out. I don't know.
You'll love the shitty one if you never saw the good one.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know the general consensus. I've heard a little bit of both. Maybe I've heard a lot of people say it was unnecessary, but
They said that about every remake.
sometimes it's true.
But these are the same people. Like, sequels are unnecessary. Yet I love sequels. Again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. It doesn't destroy my love for the original movie. So whether they remake it, sequelize it, reboot it, whatever the hell they want to call it, I'll check it out, and then I make my judgment from there, and then move on. Nightmare on Elm Street remake sucked. I don't even consider it part of the season. Yeah.
We're gonna have a conversation on all these remakes on our remake show.
Oh,
I'm gonna
we go.
reserve it. We will do it.
We're gonna do that show twice.
Yeah, we're gonna remake our remake show. Yeah. Next time a remake comes out, we'll do a remake. Although we've already had like 3 this year that have been ridiculous, but that's another story. But next time a new remake comes out, we'll do that. We'll do an old remake and we'll do a remake show. How's that?
Yeah.
I guess. Or we can just talk about the Cabin Fever or the Martyrs one that just came out. And I don't know if you want to do that. Right? But whatever. We'll do it.
We can't get into it because I'll get into that now. Talk about both of them. I watched both of them.
Both of what? Oh, the movies? Those two?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But we'll talk about it another time on the remake show.
Okay, how about a grade on those two?
Okay.
Give us that.
Of course, the argument is totally valid. Both of them are unnecessary. However, I enjoyed Martyrs much more than I enjoyed Cabin Fever. Don't get me wrong, I love the original Martyrs film. So it was an interesting take. Slight changes. I don't necessarily think the changes for the better or whatnot. It wasn't a disgrace. It was just a milder offering. So make your own judgment call. But the original is far superior. But that was to be expected. I don't think the Martyrs remake was a disaster by any means. I didn't even give it a number grade, but I'll give you one now. I'll say it was a 7.
Okay.
Cabin Fever, I'll say, was a 5. Actually, truth be told, I know the original Cabin Fever gets a lot of love. I thought it was good.
It's good.
It was good. That's it. I didn't think it was great. I saw it in the theater, and I left like going, pancakes? What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, and I know that has gotten more of a cult following ever since. And, this movie trimmed certain aspects of it out. Some people thought that softened what made the original so gritty and good. But again, I'll use your train of thought. I'll give it a 5. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible, just sort of right in the middle.
All right, so a mild rumble with, some ear, nose, and throat bleeding.
Exactamundo.
And half a head explode for Martyrs.
Yeah, but the original Martyrs, my head was blown clear off my neck. I mean, I think my body was blown. It was just like, that's a standout horror film.
With Death Escort Service, my head imploded right after I evacuated my bowels all over the place.
Your ass exploded and then your head imploded.
The ass exploded, then my head imploded.
Yeah. Now, Brandon, did you see these two or no?
I have not yet.
Oh, wow, I'm surprised. Well, I kind of know why. You got other
you know why.
more important fish to fry at the moment. Yeah.
I
That's why I have
a certain year.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. We'll go, after March hits, I'll start watching more when I want to watch again.
Yeah, me too.
Not that I don't want to watch 2002s, but you know what I mean. It's just more. You're more free to watch whatever comes out, and because who the hell has time? Good God, between the podcast and everything else, and all this new stuff coming. But hey, it's a good problem to have, right? Shit.
Yeah.
Can't complain. So, Tales from the Hood. I noticed something when the credits were coming on, and it was Christopher Young for the music. And I know Christopher Young is doing the score for the Hellraiser movies.
Yeah.
Right? And back to Barker again. But I noticed that. I'm like, interesting. And now, of course, this sounded nothing like a Hellraiser movie. But that's the first thing that I saw. Well, not the first thing. First you see Spike Lee, but I already knew that. And everything else. And then some of the names that come on. But that was kind of interesting. And the score didn't really stick out to me. But I don't know. Did you guys notice anything about it?
The score? No. The first thing I noticed music-wise was I like the organ music that was playing in the funeral parlor.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the soundtrack is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Wise choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to Die, or whatever the hell it was.
Born to Die by Spice One.
Born to Die. Wait, now what year is this movie? Hold on a second.
95.
This is 95. Let's see. Ready to Die, what year did that come out? No fans of Biggie here?
Biggie died
Ready to
in
Die
97, so before that.
Came out.
Unless you're Tupac. Tupac's the only one who releases albums after he dies.
True. No, it came out in 94, so I think they were definitely doing a,
and 3 years later, he was ready to die.
That's true. That's right. Life After Death. He was very prophetic with his death. His second album was Life After Death, and he was talking about himself getting whacked. But
I bet you him and Tupac are living on a private island, just the two of them, collecting royalty checks. It's too convenient. The lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
Maybe they are. If they are, then here's a shot to them. Take a drink. Good for them.
I just poured out a little liquor.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, but what about their funeral home? What a great start. Perfect. What a great start to a movie that they're going on. The way the music was playing in the funeral home, and what's going on here, and it's kind of weird when they get in there because right off the bat you're like, you see this creepy funeral director guy, and he's like, well, why would he have drugs for these people, right?
Well, and again, yeah, it was a cool, campy, total tongue-in-cheek way of introducing this movie, and of course the payoff explains it. But I mean, at this time, you're just like going, "What the hell's going on here?" But you buy it, and I thought it was a great way to kind of introduce the characters and be the wraparound sort of story because it works. And then they use that motif of the dead bodies that they're hovering over and talking about as the segue lead into the stories. It was a great way to do it, actually. Body Bags kind of stole a little bit from that John Carpenter one.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Took a page right out of Tales from the Hood.
Well, that's the old classic thing that goes back to the comics, having a host, explain what's going on
of
with
course.
the people, and
Well, that's why I referenced the EC Comics.
yeah, it's total EC comic type stuff, and it's good. Did you say it?
I did.
Oh
It's
shit!
okay. Nobody likes me or listens to me.
Oh man!
I thought it was you, Dave.
So did
I'm
I.
just kidding.
I thought it was me.
That's why I was
too.
surprised.
I was like, I thought it was me too.
Shit.
Sure.
He actually did.
So yeah, that's typical stuff there. Good introduction. Like I said, at first I'm like, well, why would this guy have drugs for them? And how did he make the call? And how would this even be set up? But, I'm thinking too much at the time because I'm analyzing it. And I saw this movie. This will be the third time I saw it. I saw it when it first came out. I saw it 10 years ago. And today was the first time I've seen it in a very long time. So because I have a shit memory, I don't remember.
I watched it twice. I watched it yesterday and the day before. That's how much I enjoyed it.
Wow.
Again. And I've seen it probably, I don't want to say a ridiculously high number. That's not true. But I've probably seen it about 8 times total.
Nice. Well, there you go.
I had the Laserdisc. I like to talk about my Laserdisc collection a lot on this
again?
podcast. Yeah, and I don't have that collection anymore, so it's nostalgic for me to talk about it. And yeah, this is another one I bought from loving it in the theater. I had the Laserdisc of this movie.
I just have one question for that. What's a Laserdisc? Just kidding.
It's something that you're going to want to collect. If you're a true horror fan, these DVDs are just not going to cut it. You need a Laserdisc.
Yeah, man.
You won't get any new releases on them, I can tell you that.
Can you play them on a record player?
You should try it. Yeah. Backwards.
I tried it before. I can't find where the picture's supposed to be. I'm looking for the picture.
They're the size of records, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
man,
are.
I remember
And you
that
usually had to
shit.
flip them. You did have to flip them. A movie never fit on one side.
Damn. So I guess they couldn't put out The Godfather or something like that.
Oh, no, they did, and it would be on multiple discs.
There
They
you
had
go.
Star Wars in the definitive collection.
85 disc.
And it was, no, I'm not, no word of a lie.
It's like a treasure chest.
I think each one was two plus discs, so you had to flip it 4 times, or you had to flip it, put in a disc, flip it, put in disc 2, flip it. So, yeah.
Good way to get movie lovers to exercise.
At the time, you couldn't beat the picture quality or the sound. This was the introduction to, really clear digital surround sound. It surpassed anything on the market at that time, and that's why movie aficionados that didn't mind shelling out the dollars for the player and the movies bought into it. But it never took off. It just never really caught mainstream popularity.
And you sold all your discs?
I sold every. I don't even have one of them.
What?
For like nostalgia factor.
What about the one that Clive Barker signed?
Nope. I sold it on eBay. Yeah.
Hope you got a good price for
Wow. As if he
Wow.
wasn't pissed enough at you.
it. Right?
As being the asshole who required like 14 autographs from him.
I don't want to blame. I would never blame my wife for this. But when we moved like when we first moved, I was carting this crap around house to house to house, and I don't want to say crap because I loved it, and it was always displayed and everything and whatnot.
I'm with
And I think I had. I think there was around 90 laser discs, and some of them were these box sets. I had the ones that I wish I never sold were that Clive Barker, Lord of Illusions, Platoon, Oliver Stone. It had the script bounded. It looked like a war guy's journal, and Phantasm.
Damn.
Phantasm signed. It was a signed copy, limited edition, and then I met Don when at Fantasia when they came to Toronto to do Phantasm 4, and I am signed it of one, which he
You
didn't
met
really
Don,
want to do.
did you?
Yeah,
You met Don.
yeah.
Wow. That's cool, man.
So,
But you sold it.
but
Hope
I
you
sold
got
it.
a pretty
Yeah,
penny. Holy fuck.
I did. I actually,
Good.
I think I didn't even mean to try to make money on those. I was just trying to sell them for what I got them for, and I sold
Well,
them.
you guys must be good friends. Can't you just call Don up? Be like, hey, sign a couple more for me.
Remember me, one of one.
Yeah, I call Donnie now. Donnie.
Hey, Donnie Cuss.
Is this year Phantasm 5 is coming out?
Yeah, Donnie.
Yes or no?
I'm waiting to be ravaged.
Yeah. They say it's supposed to be this year.
Yeah, it is.
Ravager. It sounds like a porno thing. Ravager. Like a shitty porno type thing. I don't know why, but that's what I thought of. Ravager. You know, like
That was a lot of fun. The one thing we have failed to do in the first hour so far is mention anything about Tales from the...
I know. Look at us. Wow, this is gonna be a fucking 5-hour show. Lord.
Okay, let's get to it.
It's jam packed as it is. Okay, let's get to the first story. I believe it's called Rogue Cop Revelation.
That's technically the second story, but that's okay.
Oh well, pardon me. Yeah.
Welcome to my mortuary part 1.
Very good.
Or the beginning.
Or the beginning. Okay. Yeah. Well, outside of the
we
intro.
talked about that part though. Brandon.
We got the intro. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that.
We come for the shit. You know.
The shit.
Shit, yeah, the drugs. The
Shit. That's good. That's funny.
Oh, he was great.
Great acting.
Definitely. So let's get into this guy. We have a rookie cop by the name of Clarence, and I want to say it's his first night on the force. He's got a partner, and he sees some guy gets pulled over, and the guy that gets pulled over, he's not 100% sure, but he sees him, and he's a well-dressed guy. He's a businessman, you can tell that, and there's 2 other cops that have already pulled him over. So there's this guy, Clarence, his new partner, and these other 2 guys. Now, the guy that gets pulled over, like I said, he's a businessman. He's this guy, he's a black guy, and Clarence is a black guy. And he sees him, and he starts running the plate. And he sees that they're being a little rough with him, and, you know, what are they saying? Things like, I guess he's known to give cops a hard time. Like, he's an
activist who's against corrupt cops, and he's been getting a lot of cops in trouble who have been dealing drugs, and he basically doesn't back down in saying he's going to continue to put away corrupt cops. And these 3 are clearly corrupt cops because I've been pulled over a few times. I've never been thrown through the window or beaten senseless with a nightstick.
No, well, but you're not a political activist.
No, and I usually keep my hands at 10 and 2. I did not waver from 10 and 2. Yes, officer.
He was out of the job for 10 minutes? Instantly runs into racist cops.
Right. Yeah, immediately. Didn't take long. His first fucking call.
They just turned left. Let's make a left here. Racism.
How about the way that glass broke? Did you guys find it kind of funny?
Oh man. When he threw him through it?
No,
it just shattered so easily.
Right, it shattered real easily. Like he just took his head and fucking put it into it, and then I don't know. It seemed like it would take a lot more to do it. Or maybe just the way it broke. I don't know. It was a little bit comical to me.
Yeah, it was clearly pre-broken.
Yeah. It was like what they used to use when they used to have wrestling matches, and they used to have those tables that were already pre-sawed.
What?
Yeah.
That stuff's not real?
It's real, but you know.
Oh.
Real shitty.
Hey. Don't blaspheme wrestling around me now. I'll tell you right now.
I'll tell you right now.
It's a soap opera in tights.
Enough.
Oh!
A lobotomy and some tights. Yeah. So yeah, there's abuse going on. This guy figures out who he is. He's like, listen, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And, you know, they're punking him off saying, hey, you know, you're a rookie. Let us do what we're going to do. And the other guy's trying to be cool about it, saying, you'll see in time. Some things have to be done this way. And yada, yada. So then they take it a step too far. They beat the shit out of him because the guy, he's not backing down. He has a big mouth too. He's like, hey, listen, you know, you guys are crooked cops and that's what you are. I'm going to talk some shit to you and I'm going to expose you. So one thing leads to another. Then it really takes a turn. I didn't expect this to happen. They say, okay, we're going to take him to the hospital. Because the one guy says, Clarence, so they take him to the hospital. What are you doing? So I'm thinking, even if they take him to the hospital, this guy's going to go in. These guys are busted. What's he going to say? Nothing? Well, what happened to you? I fell down a flight of stairs. You know? So, I mean,
glass stairs. Clarence should have known right then and there that, you know, if he wasn't going to be the one to take him to the hospital, he wasn't getting to the hospital.
Yeah.
Clarence was stupid. He was like, they made the rookie like dumb.
Well, he's a rookie. What do you want?
But you're not an idiot.
I think they were going more for coward because he really was a coward.
Yeah, I guess so, especially with what happened later on. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a coward. That's true. I mean, he tried to stop it a little bit, but he didn't. But what could you do, man? It's your rookie night on the force, and you got these 3 veterans, and here's you. There's only so much you can do. You know how they talk about the cop code and all that shit. So I don't know. But anyway, they end up shooting him up with heroin, right? Fucking killing the bastard. And planting drugs in the car to make it look like he had a drug overdose.
Yep.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought they were just going to give him the heroin so that he couldn't say shit. They wouldn't believe what he said, to expose him as a junkie. And you know what I mean? That's what I thought when they first did it. They were just doing it, to keep themselves out of trouble. I didn't know they were going to go that far and fucking whack the bastard.
These were white cops.
Then they had to
and these were what white cops do. You guys should know in the States that this is exactly what's happening. Very timely, this movie. Because what was happening there in 1995 is happening in good old 2015, 20 years later. Over again.
All these stories, the issues going on, every one of these stories is still relevant today. That's why it's sometimes weird to talk about how campy and fun this movie is, yet how morally significant it still is 20 years later.
And that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time I watched it. I was like, holy crap, like, this is still like exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
All joking aside, exactly what's happening now. But these cops are outright murderers. Like, it's not like they're just crooked. They outright murder this guy. Like you said.
Yeah, they could have left him there to be discovered, but no, they decided, let's drown him. Let's just drive him to the bay, or wherever the hell they were.
And maybe I'm jumping the gun. So we flash forward a year later, right?
Yeah.
And like, how is this guy calling from the beyond? We're just supposed to. It was just some supernatural bullshit. Like,
it's weird. It's because he talks a lot about perception. Clarence Williams III as the funeral director. So it's, he's telling it as almost like a ghost story, a supernatural story, but is that really what happened?
Yeah, okay.
Because you see what happens to Clarence at the end, and that could be the truth, but you never see that.
Well, and see now that's what I don't get. At the beginning of it, don't you see Clarence in the coffin?
Yeah. Clarence died.
Then how come when it ends, he's in a fucking nut house?
He clearly died in the nut house. Maybe he killed himself. You don't know how, but he died.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like
it is a little weird, but I just took it to believe that he was broken. He probably killed himself the first chance he got.
I suppose.
Probably some white cops came in and planted some heroin and drove him off into the river.
Yeah, what's his name from the painting? He came out of the mural and on his cross. And impaled Clarence.
The cop?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Well, yeah. I mean, the guy was boozing it up. He was all fucked up. And didn't he see something on the wall that called to him? Wasn't that what it was? Wasn't it the
That was Morehouse in the mural.
Yeah.
It was like a mural in the town.
Didn't that call to Clarence, and that's why he knew what to do?
To me.
There you go. So, and it had to be on the anniversary. So here's my guess, and I'm going to give it a pass. I'm going to say this. This was the 1-year anniversary of his death. Clarence was boozed up. He was all fucked up. He couldn't take it. He left the force. He was all fucked up about what happened. And I want to say that this whole thing takes place on the 1-year anniversary of his death. So that's when, he has the power to do this shit. I can say that. I think that works. He sees the thing. It speaks to him. I'm okay with that. My only beef is how the fuck did he get the ability to call the cops and have them meet them here? Who calls up cops and say, hey, you, and you, meet me at this graveyard at fucking 11 o'clock tonight?
That's so funny because
right?
I know I never even cared about that. I just took that. It's funny that that's what you are worried about and complain about. And yet when I watched the movie, I didn't even think twice about it. I'm like, he still has a connection, even though he left the force, turned sort of into a derelict or turned to drinking and whatnot. I felt like maybe he kept his buddy's connection and said, listen, I want you 3 to meet me over here or whatever like that.
Or else. Yeah. No,
he
was basically
at all.
but he was basically threatening them, like, because he had the power to expose them. So he was basically saying, "Meet me here." Remember, because they said, "If we go to the grave with you, that'll be the end of it." And he's like, "Yeah, that'll be the end of it." I mean,
yeah, I guess he still had their phone numbers, or I don't know. I don't know. He would have their phone numbers. He only met the two guys for fucking those first few minutes of his time on the force, and the other guy he just got into the fucking squad car with them, and it was his first night on the job.
I don't know. To be honest, they never really say if it's the first night. I mean, he's clearly a rookie. They reference that, but it could be his second.
They could have exchanged numbers.
Yeah. Could have gone over to the house for dinner.
Okay, I'll accept that. Okay. So that's why I just thought that was funny. I'm like, how the fuck did he get there? Unless I thought maybe he called them like on a call. Oh, there's somebody down here or something like that. Maybe he could do it. But then how would he predict that those three cops would be the ones to show? He couldn't.
He probably somehow reached out to them.
What do you say? He reached out to him?
He reached out to them. He knew it was Strom, Billy, and what was the other guy's name?
I don't know. Strom. I was thinking of fucking the Saw series, Agent Strom.
Yeah, Agent Strom.
Because I'm a Saw geek.
I'm a Saw geek too. I love Saw.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorite franchises, if not my favorite franchise.
It's top 3 for me. Wow, cool. Cool. You don't hear that much.
Newton. That was the other guy's name.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me a Saw reference that I didn't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. These guys one-upping me over
Oh, you know the puppet, Billy Newton.
Billy Newton. You got a last name. Holy fuck. So yeah, the cops show up. We're gonna go in the back. I want you to see fucking Clarence's grave. Whatever. Of
Piss
course,
on it.
the one cop, of course, fucking pisses on it, and then shit hits the fan. Right.
Oh man.
I mean, the guy gets his fucking cock grabbed. Oh man. Oof. Imagine that. The guy fucking yanks your cock from the grave and pushes your head into the fucking gravestone repeatedly. Oh.
Then he rips his heart out on the ground.
Oh. Wow. That fucking bastard. Was that the real asshole, or was it the other asshole?
That was Billy.
The second asshole.
That was the second asshole.
Oh,
He was
okay,
more
it
the
wasn't
copycat. He was more like, okay, if you say so, boss, I'll go piss on his grave. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Okay, it was Billy. It should have been the other guy. The other guy should have got it the worst. But yeah. So that's what happens, and then someone else gets killed. That guy gets killed, and then I don't remember. How does the other guy get killed? The asshole.
His head gets ripped off.
Yeah.
Right then and there in the graveyard.
No, in the car when he's on top of the car.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, they go in that chase, and the guy breaks in. It's kind of reminiscent of Creepshow 3 with fucking "Thanks for the ride, lady."
Two.
Oh.
Did I say 3?
Be careful when you say 3. We're going to be talking a lot about that soon.
I think so. Right. Why did I say 3? Wow.
Because you secretly love it.
Yeah, we'll see when I reveal my top 3. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh shit! Were we supposed to do a top 3?
How hard can it be? If everybody,
that's true. I could pretty much do it right now.
Right. If we ask the listeners to do it, I think we should be able to give ours. Right.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
I'm cheating. I'll just steal. I'll steal Tristan's.
So yeah, we get that cool ass fucking beheading. Yeah, he gets his head ripped off, and then it's back to the one guy, Clarence. Is there?
Well, no. Then it's back to Newton, and he gets chased down the alley.
Right.
And eventually he's in the painting, the mural.
Now, did you guys notice when that guy was shooting, because he thought that he had him beat for some reason, and he said, "Oh, I killed fucking Clarence or something," and for something that happened. What did he throw him out the car? I don't know what he did, but he thought he killed him, right?
Yeah, he thought he exploded when he shot the car.
Okay, so this is before. Okay, did you notice when he was shooting him? When the guy was standing on top of the car, Clarence came back from the dead, and the cop.
Morehouse.
Clarence Morehouse. Okay.
No, Clarence was the other cop.
Oh shit!
Martin Morehouse.
Oh, I'm confusing myself.
Oh, wait, do you hear that? I think that's the sound of viewership dropping.
I know. I'm confusing these fucking guys. Oh my god, sorry.
Clarence Morehouse. I think we should just combine all wrong names for the rest of this show. Billy Newton shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puppet.
The puppet
Comes up on his tricycle, Billy Newton.
I want to play a game.
So what I was trying to say was, did anybody notice that when this guy was firing his gun, this cop, that flames were coming out of the gun?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna light up a cigarette. I did notice that. It looked like one of those fake cigarette lighters.
I'm like, who brought that prop? Because it was horrible.
Right. I mean, I can't confess to knowing a lot about shooting guns because I don't. But I don't think that flames come out of guns when you shoot them. And then on top of it, after he shoots the cop car and the guy sitting on the top of it, the car fucking bursts into flames.
Oh, that's a movie. Yeah, that's a staple of the movies, which is just stupid.
It is stupid, but it usually makes a slight bit of sense when a car goes over the cliff and something happens. But usually gunshots is not a prerequisite for fucking cars to explode. That's all. Maybe if the guy was lighting a cigarette while the guy shot the gun, maybe maybe gas spilled out of the tank in some fucking strange turn of events. I don't know, but
at least it wasn't as bad as like those old like 60s and 70s flicks where if like you just tap someone's bumper, both cars exploded. Those high-speed chases.
Yeah.
Oh, we're safe, and then they tap something and they explode.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Well, you guys have anything to add to this? Because it kind of gets wrapped up in a hurry. They get down there, this happens. Next thing you know, you see Clarence in a straitjacket in a padded room, right?
Most of
well, here's why I think. Now, are we? I mean, we pretty much went to the end there. Are we kind of just taking it that one tiny step further for the complete spoiler of that story, or do we want to keep that?
What, the mural?
You know what they say about Clarence.
What they say about Clarence?
I guess you could say it.
I'm going to bring it up. Well, when they bring Clarence in, they say that he killed the 3 cops.
Oh yes,
that's right.
They say that he was a former cop who turned out to be a cop killer, killed 3 of them, which makes me believe that the ghost story, while an awesome story, was totally just a story being told by Sims, just to scare the thugs, because the 3rd cop, Newton, who was put into the mural and shot with flying syringes and then he was lifted up in the air in front of a bunch of crackheads and nobody even noticed that.
That was awesome, though, with those flying syringes.
Yeah, it was, but clearly, like, they wouldn't have found his body if he was put into a mural. So, like, to me, it's just like a story. Like, to me, Clarence actually lost it and went nuts and killed these guys.
Right, because come on.
Yeah.
I mean, is he that good of an artist? He's going to kill all those people and then all of a sudden draw that fucking picture of the cop on the wall?
He hollowed out the brick, put him in, re-bricked him up, and then painted where he was.
He's a misunderstood genius.
Yeah.
And he had to pay the price. So, yeah, I guess maybe he got the chair for killing the 3 cops. Maybe that was the deal. Maybe he got...
to sell that, though, they should have gone back to the mural, and that guy wasn't in it at the end. But I have a feeling it was doing the supernatural twist, which it was him, but because there's no rational explanation, I mean, it wasn't Clarence. It was the zombie guy, whatever. I can't remember names for the life of me right now either. And then Clarence just had to take the rap and got smoked for it because he was a little crazy from allowing it to happen in the first place. Then he witnessed everything happening, so I think that just sent him over the edge, and that's what he got. And he just took the rap because there was no rational explanation.
Yeah, that could be his punishment for not being there for him the first time around, But either way, you could argue it both ways, and I feel the same with every story, except maybe the KKK stories a little. But even with that one, you can kind of come up with an argument for it. But
yeah, but still.
But still, I mean, it didn't take away from my enjoyment. I love it either way.
No, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed this segment. I don't think it's incredible.
The segment was good. The segment was good. There are 2 that are great, and the segment was good.
2 that are great. Okay, well, maybe you're speaking of the next one, because...
Yes, the next 2 are my 2 favorites from the actual movie.
Boys do get bruised.
Yeah, I love this segment.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I like it too. Here's my issue. The very first time I saw it, I knew exactly not exactly what was going to happen. I knew that as soon as that kid said the monster came after my dad died, I knew right away where this fucking thing was going. So because of that, I'm not saying I like it less, but you know how it is when you think you figured it out right away and it ends up playing out the way you thought it was. It kind of takes away from the impact. That's my only issue with it. And I don't think, it was a brilliant revelation by me that I figured that out. Maybe you guys did too when they said that. It seemed, I wish they wouldn't have said that. it was too much foreshadowing for me. I just would have rather they did that differently. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going back to the first time I watched it, and I never caught on to that. Now, yeah, I was half my age,
True, true.
but at the same token, still well versed in movies and whatnot. But I remember it being a good payoff, and I really enjoyed it. I remember it being awesome then, and I've enjoyed this segment as like I said, this segment and the next one are the two best segments in the movie by far.
You're probably right. This one also kind of reminds me of an episode. I can see this being an episode of Tales from the Dark Side for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Are you familiar with the show? Doesn't it seem like this would have fit in perfectly as an episode for that? Just not as gory. I mean, they wouldn't have shown. We had some good ass stuff, and of course, you know what a tamer version of this could have been a Tales from the Dark Side episode. That's what it seems like, because a lot of them are centered around a child and what happens. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It just, I don't know why, it just had that feel to me. I thought it was kind of weird that he tells the teacher, he draws these pictures. He draws a picture of, what's the kid that's picking on him? Tyrone?
Tyrone.
Okay, he draws Tyrone. He draws the monster. He does something else. And then the teacher asks him, well, what's up with these pictures? And he tells him, the girl behind me told me that if you tear these pictures up or burn them, that will destroy what's on the picture. So right after he says that, what does he do? He does neither. He just crumples it up, and fucking Tyrone falls down the stairs. That's what I thought was funny. He said tear up or burn, and he didn't do either, and it still worked. I just thought that was kind of, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, the question is, did he truly believe that would work? Because, again, it's played out that way, but is it just sort of like a story told through the eyes of a child?
Yeah. I guess that's a way to look at it, but then again, we're being told a story from the guy. It's the guy telling the story. It isn't the kid telling the story.
No, but he's telling it, like, he says, even references, like, before he starts telling the story, like, this is, the type of story, something with the imagination of a boy.
Right.
Something.
Yeah, perception or reality.
Yeah.
Something about
perception versus reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking this at all. I'm just, I'm just pointing that thing out for a laugh and whatever, even though nobody thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny that he crumpled Tyrone and then he broke both his arms and legs.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? He must have had weak bones. They said.
Must have weak bones. I don't get it.
I like how likable they made the teacher. I thought it was interesting the way they played out the mother, who instantly seemed sexually attracted to the teacher.
Oh, yeah. You know why I think she was attracted to him? Because she was married to an asshole. So she sees a nice guy that's coming over to the house. He's more concerned about her son's safety than her fucking man is, and he lives with the kid.
Yeah.
So I could see that. She's like, hey, come here. You know what I mean? So in retrospect, I see why. I don't think she's just some slut that wants to fuck everybody. But
Yeah. Yeah, Walter, get your narrow behind in here.
You recognize that chick from Friday?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Craig! Yeah.
Use water. Put some water on that.
But yeah, that's what I think was going on there. And I do that. Of course, that teacher's a likable character, and there was the other girl too. The what was it, like a guidance counselor or something?
Yeah.
A lot of people in this movie I recognize from other movies. A lot of them. Well, the one guy,
Like Barbershop.
Well, all kinds of different movies. Sure, maybe even Barbershop, but all different type of movies. You know what I'm saying? Because I watch all these movies, so
Barbershop 3.
David Alan Grier was the bad guy.
Oh, man, what a bastard he was.
Right?
Oh, man.
He was a bastard, too. What a fucking...
Jeez.
That beating is...
Oh, man.
It's hard to watch.
It really is.
What he does to the kid, what he does to the mom. It's just...
And what he does to the teacher when he kicks his head against the stove. Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, they weren't holding back there.
But what happens to him is fucking awesome.
This ain't over, bitch.
I mean, before we get to... is there... what else can you really say about this episode?
You
The kid's
can't.
getting
Yeah.
bullied. He says it's a monster. Who's gonna believe it? And he says nobody will believe me. And of course, it's quite simple in its execution. It's a monster's doing this to me, and the teacher's concerned comes to the house, and you find out who the monster is, which wasn't a mystery to me, but
No, it's really not a mystery.
no.
Oh.
But it's still cool. I mean, but like
To
Christian
Christian,
said,
it was a mystery.
yeah.
But then again, he was half his age, so he was only a full-grown adult then.
I was still an adult, and on that same note, I was listening again, editing, and then listening back to the Clive Barker episode. I talked about being a dumb kid. I was probably 20, 22 when I did that whole signing of the Laserdisc with Clive Barker. So I said I was dumb when I was a kid, but I was
adult for that.
I was 22 years old.
Hey, man. When I was 22, the shit I was doing, I was still a dumb kid. Are you kidding me?
Okay, thank you. Good.
Oh, you fucking... yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Not me. I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
I was not a good boy. From the time I was 14 to the time I was, like, fucking 30. So, that's just me. But I think it's funny about how the stepfather is just talking shit to the bitter end.
Yeah. Right to the end.
Literally, he's fucking squashed. He becomes nothing but a fucking head. He's sitting there with nothing, and he's still fucking talking shit. But how cool is that when all shit's... That was great. When the first time the kid takes the picture of the monster, and he folds the arm over, and his arm fucking bends back and snaps. Oh, man.
Great effects.
Yeah.
I would have figured... Now, I didn't check this. You guys tell me. I would figure that would be like a screaming Mad George. But I don't know if you had any involvement in this. Because he was always into that type of effects work. Like twisting, like he did, I think, like Society and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Society. Yeah, that was definitely him.
I gotta check that.
The effects for him,
Look into it.
I don't think it was anybody special. Because that's one thing that always sticks out to me when I watch opening credits is who did the score and who does the makeup effects. That's the two things. So nothing stuck out to me.
Brian Jennings.
Yeah, I do not know who that is.
No, I don't know anybody.
I know nobody.
He did
I don't
know
the
anybody.
effects for Coneheads.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Father of the Bride too.
Okay, all right.
What a resume.
Yeah.
He's actually got a pretty big resume.
Well, thanks for reading too.
He was nominated for an Oscar for Best Short Film Animated, 1989. Hey, it counts.
Yeah, it counts. So, I mean, what else could we really say about this one? Is there anything crucial that we left out here?
Well acted.
Walter's a punk.
Doesn't overstay its welcome at all, and it's one of the strongest episodes. I think it's a companion piece to the next one, to be honest. If you want to use that as a segue into KKK comeuppance.
All right.
Then
Is that how you
so
say it? I thought it was comeuppance.
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 Yes. Well, I agree. It was good. It's simple, but a cool idea. I mean, and I was joking on the thing about crunching, lighting it or ripping whatever, or tearing it, and instead the guy crumpled it up. What the fuck ever. I mean, it's the same thing. It's still cool. It's still a cool concept that it's a voodoo doll.
I sensed a lot of judgment there. What do you think, Brandon?
No, I love this. I love the whole movie. I mean,
he's talking about me.
Oh, you? What about you? I'm sorry. I just spaced out.
You didn't catch on to that at all. I was just like, because Dave was like saying how he was just joking about him crumpling it up and not burning it or tearing it up like the girl said. I said, no, I sense judgment there. I thought you were being totally
find
serious.
it more creepy to think about the fact that none of that was actually what happened. Walter probably got a gun and shot him or something, or stabbed him, and they had to get rid of the body, and that was it.
Wow. You're really thinking that there's a lot more underlining story.
I'm thinking deeper. There were such powerful. Honestly,
Damn.
I take it at face value because they did show the body all burnt. So maybe they killed him and then set him on fire. But he wasn't as twisty in the coffin as he was on the ground.
I think Southbound will be more of something to read into. I think this one was more face value.
True.
It's weird though to just take it at face value when it
Well,
has
I
so
don't have to tell
much
you.
deep moral issues that it's trying to talk about.
I do feel you, but I don't think. I don't know. I think the issues are.
That's my only complaint. It gets caught up between trying to be a campy, scary horror anthology or being a true social commentary on black on black violence or
True.
white on black violence.
That is true. There is a lot of that going on. You're right, and I do feel you. You're right. It's just it's kind of front and center, I guess. You know. But damn cool. I mean, I think really the last one is where it's all about. I mean,
Yeah, that's my personal favorite one.
It's heavy-handed. It's all right there.
Yeah.
But
The
as far as
Clockwork Orange wannabe?
What?
Clockwork Orange,
The Clockwork Orange wannabe one, the last one, or the next one we're going to talk about?
Well, he was talking about the last one.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the last Crazy K.
Really, Crazy K one. Always, I don't know. I was always like, it's good. I think the heavy-handedness got to me.
Me too, and I like what they're saying. That's the worst part. It's just that it went on too long.
Yeah.
The video that he watched, it was too. You don't have to show a full 5 minutes.
Yeah, we get it.
Of Klan stuff and of gangbangers killing other black men. Enough is enough. You could show it 2 or 3 times and that's it. It was just too long. Then he came out
to play the whole song.
Yeah, it was a music video. Yeah.
Hey,
That's what it was.
we're jumping the gun. You guys are blowing your loads way too soon. We got to get the KKK.
Shit, forgot about
Yeah,
it.
you're right. By the time we get to the
Come on.
last one, it'll be so quick anyway. Okay.
Yeah, back to
Let's-
come up.
Or Muppets, as I call them. Muppets. Because they got well, they're not Muppets, they're puppets. But this week we briefly spoke about this last show because of the puppets, killer dolls and whatnot. And damn, yeah.
It's creepy. It's fucking creepy.
Oh, it's great. This is the highlight of the film to me.
Yeah. I love this one too.
And it's so simply set up. What a great idea. I mean, they have this guy Duke, which is obviously a fucking, a slant on David Duke when he was trying to fucking run. And he was an ex-Klan member. Ex-Klan, I think he was the Grand Wizard or something, David Duke. But anyway, this guy's running.
Wizard?
He was high up. Maybe he wasn't the Grand Wizard. I don't know, but
Second wizard in charge.
assistant to the wizard.
He was like
VP.
what's the I can't think of the wizard's name.
VW, the wizard's
Lord of the
name?
Rings.
Who? What wizard?
He was like Gandalf.
Oh.
Isn't what they call that the second?
Yeah, the white
Greg-
wizard.
The white. Yeah, he's Gandalf in the KKK.
The white wizard. So yeah.
I was trying to make a joke, and
We don't mean to offend any Klan members out there.
yeah.
Wizard, the whole wizard thing is just funny to me. But yeah, no, they play, and that actor plays it great. He is awesome in it. And then they got
Corbin Burnson.
Oh yeah. And then they got the Uncle Sam guy. That's exactly who they're going for, right? The black guy that is not too black, like he's.
Oh yeah, his image maker.
Yeah,
he's an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, that's what I say, Uncle Tom, and then or did I say Uncle Sam?
Like what the Uncle Sam guy?
Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ben, something. I don't. Someone's uncle.
Oh fuck, the rice guy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So yeah, that
Someone's
guy.
uncle.
He just wants to fucking make a buck. That guy.
Oh, and that was great too because they set up his character great as well.
$10,000 a week.
Yeah, and he got what he deserved.
And that was really well done how he was filming it. And the guy's like, whoa, because you think he's kind of joking at first, and then boom, he goes right down those stairs. You're like, what the? And then it was just done great. And the whole setup, they did the setup really quick, easy. I tend to jump right over a lot of things here. I'll just say the one thing I didn't like. The one thing I didn't like was the re-imaging or the actual physical reappearance of the woman in the rocking chair. I didn't think it was necessary at all. I thought they could have easily done the reappearance of the dolls and it kept her in the picture.
painting.
Yeah, or in the painting. And it would have been
maybe her face changes a little
or something because she was
Right.
creepy in the painting. To visualize her
Mm-hmm.
added nothing. That was the only misstep I think this episode took. To be honest,
And even if
Right.
even after they brought her out, I think it would have been better if she stood up and started singing some Al Jolson. Yeah. Oh God.
Yep.
I'm going.
we're
Putting-
going to hell now. Yep.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Put on a minstrel show.
I'll tell you what. That you know who she reminded me of? Did you ever see The Stand?
Yes.
Yeah, I really think she reminded me too much of the old lady in The Stand, Mother
Yeah.
Abigail. You know, just sitting there rocking on the front porch, and she looked too nice. Like Mother Abigail's a nice woman.
Where that mural or the painting did not, well, not that she didn't look nice, but it was creepy because this is the way they did it, and all they needed to do was focus in on that, and maybe widen the eyes in the painting for that part. That would have been creepy, and kept everything to the dolls because those dolls. It was just a great way to cap off the segment.
It was great. The whole thing was really good. It was good performances.
It's doll horror 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, dolls again. Here they come. Yeah, and we probably will never talk about them for another 25, 30 episodes. You watch. No more dolls. No, but it was set up right. Here's my thing. One major thing. Why the fuck would this guy even keep that picture in his house?
Well, didn't he joke and say he was going to paint over it?
Yeah.
No, why wait? He owned it, didn't he?
No, but
he owned the house.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think they just got in. I think it made it sound like he'd only been there for months. He was going to keep it for a bit. Like they kind of threw it away in a line of dialogue. Like, I'll keep it up for the time, and maybe I'll paint a coat of white over it. I don't think I'm making this up. I think
I don't either.
A throwaway line to explain that it was going to be taken care of at some point.
Maybe you're right. I just see an asshole like this, a fucking racist guy that had the balls to fucking buy this place, which is it's you know, it's taboo. You don't fucking go there. It's a plantation. The person that was there before massacred slaves after they were freed, and you know they know about the doll. It's just bad fucking shit going on there. The fact that a politician would be that ballsy, and you obviously know what party he stands for, and you obviously know what he's trying to say in the beginning about affirmative action. He's a fucking, you know, a right-wing racist asshole to the fucking far right. And to go in there, a guy like that, I don't think would keep a picture of a black woman and a bunch of black puppets up for more than a few hours.
I think he wanted the black vote, and that's why he had that image maker there to try to help make it work. So I think they're trying to use, like, I'm not a bad guy. I want to use this place. Yeah, I know I'm getting bad publicity, but I'm going to stay here, and you know, no one's going to change that. And you know, and I think he just figured right now he'll use whatever he can get to get whatever votes he can get, and he'll deal with all that crap afterwards after he gets elected or whatever it may be.
If there's one complaint about this segment, it's when he throws the doll out the window, and then about 3 hours later, it's nighttime, and the doll shows up at the house and is sitting on the steps. And rather than getting all confrontational, I would have looked at the doll and gone, I'll get my bags. I'm leaving.
Right?
Like, seriously, come on. He just automatically, oh, okay, the doll's possessed. I'm going to fight it now.
This segment, in my opinion, has the most racist line in it too.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
about the spooks?
Oh no, he calls the dolls a bunch of niglets or niglets. Niglets.
He does.
I was like, what? I couldn't
That's
believe.
one of my wife's words, actually. What?
Really?
My wife is a black woman.
Yeah, I know. You've told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that if she
My wife's a
was.
horrible racist. Yeah.
No, she just says it as a joke.
Yeah.
But I laugh because it reminded me of her. She goes, "Oh, that little niglets or something." I don't know.
Well,
But yeah.
I mean, whether right or wrong, obviously it's right. She could say whatever she wants. It's like me cracking an Italian joke. Yeah.
Right.
Free reign. But
Yeah, I get to crack you jokes. Woo!
yeah, there you go.
Cheap.
We
We're
all
cheap.
Hey, we can all get away with it.
They did mention the Jewish community at the beginning of this episode too.
Yes, they did. Yes. They said the black and
Jewish community.
Yes,
Yep.
they did. Yep, and they were out there protesting.
Yeah.
Even
Rightfully
though,
so.
yeah, well, sure, the Klan.
I'm gonna shoot your little balls off. I'm leaving the racist terms out. I do not feel comfortable. I don't want Spike Lee contacting me. Making a
You
mean stuff.
use the N-word too many times in your podcast. Spike, I'm telling you. Kids, they love it nowadays.
I'm bringing it back.
No, but I was like, wow, he didn't even just use the N-word. He used like an offshoot of it.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah. But I mean, that's as bad as it got. I mean,
yeah.
You don't really, you hadn't really seen anybody dropping the N-word. White guys, I'm saying, like in that way throughout the movie. Even the cops in the beginning, they could have vilified them more and made the guy straight racist, but they didn't. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying about it. It wasn't quite. They didn't vilify them as much. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because at some point you'll throw off another portion of the audience. If it's too much, you'll be like, oh, come on. Like,
right.
we're not, like, the white man is not the enemy all the time. In these situations, sure, but not all the time. And then now the last segment, the white guy's part of the problem, but obviously...
Even the second segment.
Yeah, true enough.
So it was really half and half. It basically just showed that the problem is way beyond race.
Right. Well,
it just happened to be told from a, campy, fun Tales from the Hood type format, which is different and entertaining. But that title and artwork can definitely turn some people off from the movie.
Yeah, it's too bad. And that's the problem, is that I think people think that this is a gimmicky movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're thinking about like Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror.
Yeah, Hood of Horror. That's what I was just going to say.
Right.
And there's some offshoots that were done of it. I haven't even seen that, so I can't even comment if it's good.
It's not good.
Does it have the same segment with the dolls, and Snoop gets high with the dolls at the end? Yeah. It's like, man, take a toke off of this. You little motherfuckers.
It wasn't even horrible. I saw that movie, and I don't remember. I didn't hate it. So
I never saw it, so I can't really judge.
But I could see how people would see, Tales from the Hood, and this is just a gimmicky movie, and it's going to be fucking just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's so much more than that.
Definitely.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like it's not Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Both shizzle.
Yeah. They're going to remake it.
But I'll tell you, them fucking dolls were great. Anytime you saw them, and how they each, that was the best part, is that he's looking at the picture, and you see one doll missing, the one that was in her lap, and that was the one that was causing all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, he was like the leader.
Yeah, he was the leader. He killed the black guy, the campaign manager.
I love Corbin Bernsen's like breakdown after he sees all the dolls are out of that, and he's like starts grabbing his head, and he's like, he like clearly had a meltdown. Like he didn't even attempt to like get away. He knew he was done for.
Yeah.
And he's trying to cover himself with the American flag.
Right. Yep. He's at the very end, and they're all coming at him. Yeah.
I guess, Dave, you and I seem to be aligned. This seems to be your favorite. I like Boys Do Get Bruised and this one. These two stand out. They're solid segments. And yeah, I said Road Cop was good. Nothing horrible about it, but it was just a good segment.
Basic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you. I agree, though. If I had to pick this is definitely the standout. And then if I had to pick a number two, it would be Boys Would Be Bruised. So I'm with you. I'm with you there.
And Hardcore Convert actually is probably my least favorite segment.
Yeah,
but it's still good. It still has some merit. I'm just saying it's probably my least favorite segment in this movie.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We're almost there. Oh, man. Brandon's going to oppose it.
Go all crazy.
Is that Crazy K?
Let's go all Crazy K up in here.
Crazy K. I love the music.
Coming up short on me.
I love the music in this one, too, with the fucking strings.
You know what? That's probably what does it for me. But it's very... see, you said the montage video is too long. I find that to be just like... This is where, like, this movie got serious. Like, wow. Showing those actual photos and stuff.
Oh, so this is your favorite segment?
The next one he's talking.
Yeah, yeah. This one's probably my favorite, but honestly, I love all four. I don't really have. I probably go backwards in terms of my favorites. I probably go Hardcore Convert, KKK Comeuppance, Boys Be Bruised, or Boy Gets Bruised.
Boys Be Bruised.
Is that what it was? Oh, Boys Do Get
Boys
Bruised.
Be Bruised.
Boys Bruised and
another song about Bones.
Bones, yeah. Speaking, there you go, Snoop Dogg Bones, right?
Yeah, and then the Road Cop one.
Well, I guess we can get into Hardcore Convert. Is there anything else that we need to say about the Muppets here?
The Muppets. That it's a lot scarier than the Muppets.
This group of Muppets, I heard after they killed Duke, they took Manhattan.
And they did it better than Jason.
And the real Muppets.
I'll add one thing. Do you think that guy from I think it's Die Hard 2, the Prophet of Doom guy, was
Eli?
he necessary in it? Because he tells a little bit more backstory, but was it really necessary?
What guy?
The Crazy Ralph guy from KKK Comeuppance.
Yeah, the one who's always he was yelling out that they want reparations.
Oh, that Crazy Ralph guy. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's there for
Crazy Ralph.
He's not really relevant because he kind of tells this. Corbin Bernsen tells the story to his image maker at the very beginning, so it's kind of not. But
I hear you. I guess he wasn't necessary.
It would have been cool if his face was on one of the puppets, and then they showed that he was never really there outside. No one else could see him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm getting. Now it's getting.
That would be cool.
He was a dummy hanging in the closet.
Yeah, now it's becoming all M. Night.
Well, he could have been a descendant of one of those slaves that were made to a puppet.
Yeah, at the end, he's hugging one of the puppets, saying, "Happy." Oh God.
Yeah, because
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
we don't need him. We don't need him. Right? He's not interjected for exposition because it's not the only form of exposition with that. It comes out. You're right. Duke basically says it. So, yeah, you're right. I guess he's unnecessary. I guess it's just maybe it's a way to show what a big dick fucking that guy is, Duke. Doesn't that guy come up to him and he shuns him off or something after a funeral, right? After the funeral of the campaign manager, doesn't he treat him like shit or something? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, well, he answers his question, but then pretty much just like get in the car, they take off. Yeah.
Yeah, he almost makes that spook comment, but he saves himself and says spooky reporters.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, that was funny.
It's like I like that. I think I'm gonna use that. Not if you want to get elected, you won't.
Exactly. Yeah, his dumbass is so fucking closed-minded. He thought he was serious.
Yeah.
That he could actually get away with saying that.
The ones with guns.
That's just a slant on the whole fucking thing on these Southerners and fucking,
Again, you could say it's very very timely, and it's your Donald Trump.
Right. I hear you.
I know Donald Trump is not to this extent, but
still.
Yeah. How's that wall coming? Are they getting the bricks ready for that wall?
Yeah, you would almost think it's satirical if you didn't know better.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's really not.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not.
Right. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Before you know it, New Mexico. It has Mexico in the name, so there'll be a wall around New Mexico as well. And Texas, you never know about Texas. We'll put a wall there too. Every state, it's going to be single states again. Every state's going to have their own wall, like gated states. That's what you guys are going to do down there. It's very political. We're getting on this show today. I'm sorry, we won't talk. David, we just lost David.
Yeah, this is my fucking
Did Dave die?
I'm so bad now. Not bad. I'm so good now that I don't even look at the Facebook fucking feeds anymore.
Oh, I know you said you got. I hear you, because it's very frustrating when it's someone that you like or know, and you just are like, I can't see eye to eye on you, and it makes me not want to talk to you.
Yeah, man, it's like having your heart broken sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I was joking, but
yeah, you were joking, but there's a lot of truth in jest when you're talking about politics. You know, there really is. It's fucked up shit. But yeah, this is my escape from all that shit. We're
Sorry.
here for fun. No, don't. It's human nature.
It's a damn political film.
Yeah, well, in this one here, the next one, Hardcore Convert, it's the most. You know what it reminds me of? Ultimately, I'm a real big Public Enemy fan. They're my favorite rap group, and
saw them.
Yeah, me too. In 1991, I drove to fucking Toronto to go to this little fucking bar. I forgot what it's called. The show place. I forgot what it was called.
That's hilarious.
I was a high school senior, and I took my father's Cadillac. I just got the license a few months before, and I drove over the border in this fucking Cadillac with me and my two friends by ourselves on a school night. Didn't tell my parents where I was going because it was a school night because they would have said no, and just fucking calmly came back home at 3, 4 in the morning and dealt with the punishment because nothing was stopping me from seeing Public Enemy.
You know, you could say, I guarantee it was the same year, and my buddy and I went to see them in Hamilton, which is why I made that fucking Hamilton joke, because Hamilton's right beside me.
I know. Yeah.
The TV where the guy's taking the picture of the TV and there's cock reflections on the TV. That was a hilarious picture. Sorry. Right. Anyway, that will be edited out. But anyway, so they played in Hamilton right next door, and we were the only 2 white people there. It was in a high school gym. I swear. That was the venue, and it was great. And, you know, all racial things aside, I wasn't like, I didn't care because I was never worried about stuff like that. Anyway, everybody would tell me to be worried about stuff like that, but I never cared. Yes. And there was no reason to, because no one even tried shit. Like, it was there. People were there for the music, and it was awesome.
That's right.
Yep. I saw them too.
Did you?
Yep.
Nice. When did you see them?
96, maybe.
Nice. Well, mine was 91. It was Fear of a Black Planet fucking tour. It was when they were at the height of their popularity. Yeah. They were my favorite group. There was no way I was missing it, and that's as close as they were coming. And I was there. Maestro Fresh West opened. He was a fucking Canadian
rapper, man.
Yes. Yep. So I was there for that. Speaking of high school gyms in Canada, I saw Marilyn Manson in a high school gym in Canada. So.
Oh, really?
In Hamilton. So it might have been the same.
Probably the same gym.
Might have been. It was fucked up, but yeah. So yeah.
Running a gym.
Running a gym, high school gym.
That manager of the gym is the best freaking manager on the planet. Hey, you know who's played here? We had Public Enemy, we had Marilyn Manson, Andrew Dice Clay. Everybody wants to come to this gym.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I actually saw them at an actual concert venue. I don't know where you guys were going.
Well, I've seen them a few times. I've seen PE more than once, that's for sure.
I only saw them once, and it was like like multiple groups, like Cypress Hill and Gangstar and Black Eyed Peas.
Nice.
Before Fergie.
That's cool. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. Right on.
I don't have anything against Fergie.
Before Flavor of Flav?
They were just better before Fergie.
I actually didn't. I thought I was going to watch a Public Enema.
What you got there? Public Enema?
You think you got Public Enema?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
So there's this thing on Public Enemy. There's this track on Apocalypse 91, and it's their 3rd album. And it's this little thing, and it's a member of the Klan. This is Bernie Crosshouse, yours truly of the KKK. And basically, what they say in that little fucking 2-minute bit explains this whole fucking 20-minute thing. And, you know, it's a Klansman thanking the drug pushers and gangbangers and drug users and everybody else for doing their job for them. In other words, they're killing the black youth more than the Klan is. So, wow. Your solution to our problem is greatly appreciated. And that's basically, that sums up this whole fucking segment in a nutshell, is that's this guy falls in line with that. He's this gangbanger, and he doesn't care about killing anybody, black, whatever, because, black gangs. He doesn't care, white, whatever. Bottom line is, he's doing all this shit. And, I can't even remember what happens. All I remember mostly is that video, and that they had him tied down. They did the one thing. They did something to his brain, and they did something else. I don't know. It seemed, I don't know. Brandon, you like it the most. Maybe you should describe it.
Well, basically, I mean, it's weird because it's like, it would be like spoiling it.
You think? Spoiling this? Oh, because of the ultimate thing at the end?
No, not because. All right, well, here's the deal. The whole story takes place within a few seconds, within that moment right before Crazy K is about to die.
Oh, right. Yeah. And he's like,
that's what
like a purgatory.
I don't give a fuck.
It's basically like a flashback on his life, and he has almost like a split second at redemption, at taking responsibility for his life. And ultimately he doesn't. And that's where he fails in the end. But, his redemption comes in the form of, this weird castle-like rehab place where he's strapped in and given hallucinatory drugs, where he sees visions and has to face all his demons and everyone he's killed. And did anyone else notice the dead bodies that were hanging upside down that were like wheeled in?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I was wondering if anyone knew what that was because those were all white bodies. I
Yes,
noticed.
they were. They were women too. You could see
Yeah,
breasts. Yeah, it was
yeah.
weird.
I was like boobies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actual quote. What happened? I went boobies.
Nice.
But
Hey, it was the only tits you saw, right?
hey,
Ever.
I mean, in this movie. That's all I'm saying.
top of the mops.
Top of the mob, people.
Yeah.
Gizmos.
So
No, and I hear you, man. Like the actual idea behind this should have been the best segment, and I think they thought that's the best segment, which is why they kind of put it last, other than the wraparound. However, as Dave said, I think it went a little too heavy-handed, went a little too long for its own good, and we're like, we got it. We don't need it to be drilled in. And yeah, they maybe had to play that song out, but we didn't need it that long. And I think if it was trimmed a little bit, or a lot even, it would have been way more successful.
I don't know. I found all of it. Like I wouldn't know where to cut. I loved his interaction with the white supremacist. About
That
being
was
a member
cool.
of his army.
Yeah.
About being a member of his army
That
and all
fucking
that.
Nazi. Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
almost feel like the doctor represents, because she's obviously wearing all white. She represents almost like an angel, like his last chance at redemption. Like I'm looking way into this.
I can dig that though. I like that.
No, that's what we're doing here, and
that's
that's
cool.
Is that? Oh, I didn't know.
No, I like that. That's good.
little dick and fart jokes.
Yeah, it can't all be right. What about the heads? The heads. What about? Sorry, I'm thinking about
They exploded. Oh,
the Nazi. He basically summed it up right there. He goes, "You're okay with me. You're killing those guys. You know what? I don't care." He still calls him a slur. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, "You're cool with me because you kill him." Basically, he plants the seed as to what we have to witness later for a 5-minute video. He says it all right there. I like you because you're helping me with my problem. Same thing the guy said in the PE skit. Fucking, you're out there killing fucking young black men. You're thank you, is what he's saying. He goes, I don't care that you're one of them. You're helping me fucking take them out because I don't like them. So he's basically, that sets the tone for what the whole thing's about. I mean, the girl is trying to rehab him, which I do feel you. I guess if it all happened in his head, it kind of makes sense. But in reality, that would never happen. Someone's going to come into a prison cell and a guy that whacked people and said, oh, we're going to take him over here and we're going to give him behavioral therapy and do this.
He was never in prison. He was imprisoned in his own mind. It was all happening within a few seconds.
So the whole thing was basically a dream sequence.
The whole thing was end of life, looking back on his life, what's his ultimate contribution going to be to society? And to me, the only thing that bothers me is everyone getting a chance? Why is he getting a chance? Because he doesn't seem like a very good person.
Right.
At all. Well, he doesn't seem like he has any redemptive qualities at all.
Yeah,
Is
right.
that a word?
Well, yeah, and I think it's just to tell the story. And and since he was doing exactly that, that's why he was chosen, because he had killed tons of innocents.
I love the video montage. I mean, yeah, it seemed like they kind of played the gangbanging shootings. It seemed like they repeated a couple of them, but the old clan photos and stuff, man, those were haunting.
They were haunting. You're right. I just didn't like to look at them.
No, I mean, I didn't like to look at them, but
I'm not saying you did. Yeah, I know.
For the sake of this movie, I think it's very relevant, to speak to, black on black crime being an issue. Look at how much violence there was towards blacks before this shit started happening. So it's like, cut the shit. It's a simple message.
I guess that's where I am a little uncomfortable to watch that. And I was watching that with my wife. I don't like to see shit like that. You know what I mean? Not over and over again. And my wife doesn't say a word. She just watched it with me. But it's just, I don't know. I'm very sympathetic about shit like that. And it just, I didn't need to see as much of it as, I get the point. Yeah, the Klan, they sort of, after I see one or two black people hung, I don't need to see another fucking dozen. That's all.
Yeah, there were pictures with, I think one guy had an axe in his head. And I mean, these are real photos.
Yeah.
I mean, horrific. The one with they pan up to a little girl in the picture standing there smiling.
Oh, that was fucked up. Yeah. That little white girl.
Ooh, man.
I agree. And you know what? I guess a lot of times I don't like to think about real life tragedy when I watch my movies, is what it's come down to. It's just like, I mean, it's like saying I don't, with me on the Facebook, not wanting to be on the feed. because I don't
Yeah.
want to hear about the fucking real life shit anymore. I'm done. And I don't mind a serious tone movie or a movie with a message. That's fine. I just don't need, real life pictures that much. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, and this one shifted tones between stories, definitely.
Definitely, and I do appreciate this one. I understand the message. It's cool. I just wish, and when they were showing the gangbang scenes, it's like, where is this coming from? You know what I mean? I can't even explain it. Maybe I would have liked it more if they would have showed like news, like a news story. Say another black on black gang violence. This is Los Angeles. This happened to.
Yeah, they could have showed footage from the riots. I mean, even
Something. Just
even,
not. It was like a video. It was like watching a scene from Boys in the Hood or something.
exactly. Yeah, even Corbin Berenson in the previous segment had mentioned something. Can't we all just get along?
He did.
He
Yeah,
did.
of course. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the time. Yeah. That was.
But again, it was trying to be campy, fun horror movie, but also morally and socially responsible. I think it did both well. I think if it went all out one way or the other, it would have turned more people off.
Yeah.
But I think overall the mixture is just right for people, and it has a pretty wide audience and fan base.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, and you know, it's probably this segment's probably my least favorite of the four. It's your favorite, which is unusual. But yeah,
It's weird though, because honestly, I loved all the segments, and that's the good thing about anthologies is it's hard to find I mean, there's a few, but it's hard to find an anthology that you truly hate, because chances are 9 times out of 10 there's going to be at least one segment that you enjoyed enough that you're going to be like, all right, that was really good, so I didn't waste an hour and a half, 2 hours of my time.
Yep.
And this one I enjoyed all the segments. Me saying this one's my favorite and the other one is my least favorite, if I'm rating all these, we're talking probably a half a point difference between my favorite and least favorite. It's like that close.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. I wish I felt that strongly about it. This is I appreciate the message. I just don't enjoy it on the level that I enjoy number 3 at all. And
I agree.
I would go 3, 2, 1, 4 is my order. Not the wraparound its own entity. The wraparound's cool, and that's good. That's basically, if you have a good wraparound, that's always a major plus.
And I see why you like three the most, because it doesn't. I mean, even though it's incredibly racist and by far the most racist of all of them, it doesn't take itself as serious as the others.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's just a great concept with them coming out of the painting that way.
Yeah, because it's not real. It's basically a killer doll segment, but it's relevant, but it's very fictitious. You can't mistake it as being legit.
True.
Whereas the others, dealing with gangbanging and child abuse and and corrupt cops, it's too close to home, unfortunately.
So how would you rank them? If this is your favorite, where would you go?
I would probably just go backwards.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cool. Christian, what do you think?
Dave, I think I'm exactly like you.
Right.
Although cool. It's not that I think KKK Comeuppance and Boys Do Get Bruised are on par as my 2 favorite, and I think Hardcore Convert and Road Cop are on par as being right behind it. Like, I mean, I don't dislike them. I just find that those ones are good, and I love the other 2.
It's like a 1AB and a 2AB.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, are we ready for ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're not giving out the total ending, right?
Now then it comes back to Welcome to the Mortuary and the Ultimate End. So if any of you haven't seen it.
Which, I'll say one thing that doesn't, I think, do any spoiler. Some cheesy, dated effects work with a little bit of crazy animation thrown in for just a sprinkle of animation thrown in there for some chuckles. For sure.
Yeah,
I enjoy the hell out of it. I enjoy I'm completely on board with the way it ended. It's my type of ending. I mean, you can kind of see it coming once it gets to a certain point, but whatever. I'm completely on board with it.
After watching Hardcore Convert, you need that cheesiness that the ending of Welcome to the Mortuary had.
True. And the tie-in. It works perfectly.
The tie was great.
You know?
And I was trying to say it's welcome cheesiness. Like, it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's
no,
fun.
I know.
But
right.
But it's cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I dig it. Okay. Well, who wants to go first?
All right, I'll go first. This is honestly one of my, I'm not going to say my favorite anthology, but it's definitely one of my favorite anthologies. I've never really thought about, if I had to make a list, and I know we're going to do that soon.
You better.
But every single story in here is solid. I don't look at having any weak points, and I find it socially and morally responsible and thought-provoking, and I know it's weird to say, but somehow fun and campy at the same time. So it blends the two really well, as not to turn people off one way or the other. So I'm going to come in with an 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
I would say half my head was blown off. Wait, how does that?
Yeah.
We're going to be...
Perfect.
Perfect.
You did it perfectly.
Wow, cool.
The other side, I have ear bleeding.
I'm pretty much with you. I've said all I'm going to say about it. I really enjoy it for the most part. Even the weakest one is still worth watching. So I mean, I've seen some anthologies where the weakest ones you could cut them right out and fucking that's fine with me. It boosts the movie up. Granted, I'm not so crazy about the last segment, but I understand the message and I'm cool with it, and that's all good. But all in all, it's an underrated movie, and I think it's like I said earlier. I think people think it's a gimmick movie and it's something stupid, but it should be taken seriously amongst other anthologies. There's a lot of good anthologies, and this is one of the better ones. So I'm not quite as high, but I'm right there. 7.5 is what I'll give this.
Wow. Exactly what I give it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm 7.5. And I think at some point it might have been an 8. But that's okay. I mean, this is all movies, and all of us will do it. Sometimes that number will just deviate ever so slightly within a point, maybe depending on your mood, the time when you're watching it. But I try to just see it overall, and sort of the same sort of things that you were saying, Dave, and you, Brandon. But I leave it. My overall rating will be 7.5.
All right, so we're all pretty much on the same page here.
Nice.
And if we allowed Dave to do the math, this one would be in our Hall of Fame. but since Christian and I are here and we double checked the numbers, it did not make the Hall of Fame.
Damn. Yeah. We gotta have an elite group, right?
Yeah, you know what? I honestly feel like we've been. I mean, yeah, we're not necessarily all on the same page week in and week out, but I think our ratings are fair, and I think it'll have to be a truly top-notch film to get into the Hall of Fame.
Top notch. And it will.
Awesome.
We'll have some, right? We better get some. Shit, we can't just keep doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, eventually we've already talked about plans to cover certain, I guess, trilogies if we just do 3 movies, but certain film series that basically the first film of most of them are pretty highly touted.
That's true. All right, so stay tuned for all that. But yeah, Tales from the Hood got good grades, so check it out if you haven't. Take our advice, and we're gonna go into we have our Facebook. Here's what I did. Brandon put out the question for Facebook, asking people on our group page. Which, if you're not on it, you should get on it. It's real easy. Exploding Heads Horror Podcast. It's the only group on Facebook that's with that name. So he asked a question because we were talking about this. He wanted to have our listeners weigh in as to what their top 3 favorite horror anthologies were and what their worst was, just for fun. So we put it out there for the listeners. We put it on our Facebook group page. And join it, please. And we put a little out there on Twitter, and we got a little bit on Twitter, a lot on the Facebook. So we asked everybody for their top 3 horror anthologies and if they could come up with what's their least favorite. So we're going to tally these up, and we're going to give the listeners awards, I guess, at the end. Awards, I call them. We're going to give the totals at the end just for fun. So, everyone that weighed in, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And we'll start at the top. We have Tony T. 1, 2, and 3 in order. Creep Show, yes. VHS, and Trick or Treat. Favorites, there you go. Least favorite, Creep Show 3. It's already coming up. Okay.
That's not surprising.
Nope. Then we got the Ram Man. Top 3 in no particular order. Creep Show 2, Tales from the Hood, and Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And how about this? An honorable mention, we were just talking about it, Snoop Dogg's Fit of Horror. So, yeah. So there you go. Least favorite, Creep Show 3. Okay. Rob Doyle. I know.
Robbie!
Yeah. He says, I know a couple that are quite recent, but as far as anthologies go, I love them. Yeah, don't we all? Number 1, Creep Show. Number 2, A Christmas Horror Story. Number 3, Tales of Halloween. Well, yeah, some recents. No shit.
Nice. Christmas Horror Story. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that one, too.
It was good. Honorable mentions, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, TV show I know, and John Carpenter's Body Bags. Wow. Least favorite, All Hallows Eve 2. What a letdown.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I actually liked All Hallows Eve 2. I thought the first one
Good.
the
Yep.
first one was good. It was creepy, it was gory, and this one what they did was they tore a page out of Tales from Halloween almost. It was
Yep.
they just got 5 people to direct and kind of submit their movies.
Yep.
They did a wraparound and that was it. I actually liked it.
I did too. Some were
Yeah.
good, some weren't so good. All in all, I reviewed it on Banana Leaves. We did a review, and I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. To break it down here, I would probably give it a 5.5 or maybe a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible.
No, I actually liked it. But again, not great, but it was definitely better than average
Yeah.
for me.
It was. Some were good, some were not good. It's
Yeah,
just-
I'd say it'd hover around 6.5, but I wouldn't say it was my least favorite by any means.
right. I think it might have been a big letdown for a lot of people because the first one was more coherent. They had the clown in each one, kind of, and it was more of a, you know what I mean. The second one took more of an ABC's of Death approach. You know what I mean? Where they just had random people coming in, directing things, and they just put them in. Where the first one was all the same director. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it was just different.
I could see that, but I like both, and I like them both for that reason. Did you see Tales of Halloween?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and I like that too. That was the same sort of idea, like just different
I
directors.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But I think it was better than All Hallows Eve too. But
yeah, true.
yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, Keith Tomlin, favorite, Creep Show, VHS, and Tales from the Dark Side. Least favorite, Creep Show 3. Brian Norris, I like this list here. From a Whisper to a Scream,
Nice.
Trilogy of Terror, and Asylum.
Yes.
Those are some classics right there.
What was the second one? I'm sorry.
Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy.
Yeah. Least favorite, this one surprises me, Campfire Tales. But that's it. Campfire Tales to me was actually a pretty decent and overlooked anthology as far as I'm concerned. Not a lot of people talk about it, but
Well, not the Chuck.
no, not. Oh, very good.
Ah, Mr. Norris.
It came out at a time where there were none. 97. They're just you didn't see any in any anthologies coming out.
Yeah, I mean, except for that one. What was it called? Oh yeah, Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, it's true. Tales from the Hood. You're right.
I'm just messing.
But
with
still,
you.
they were very popular earlier, and then in the 80s there was a couple here and there. There were more of them. There was probably very few in the 90s in comparison. Now they're making a comeback, thankfully. But I liked it. Campfire Tale. I mean, it wasn't great, but I don't know. I liked the girls in it too. Amy Smart's in it. Christine Taylor. I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever. Joe Parker. Faves. Original Tales from the Crypt / Vault of Horror. He did a 2-for-1. Although they are quite, similar and related. 2 is Trick or Treat, 3 is Creep Show. Least favorite, VHS. Either one. Or all 3s, but he probably isn't aware that there's a third one. He just hates the VHS franchise.
Really?
Basically. That's Joe. That's
I like the first two.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. Tales from the Hood. Travis Jones says Tales from the Hood. That's it. I love Tales from the Hood. So that's his one pick. Okay, now we have Joanna Rose. Okay. Oh, I like this. Her number one is Three Extremes.
Yes.
Which is cool. I like Three Extremes too. I love one. I don't know. It's a good selection. I'm glad to see it on there from somebody. 2 Trick or Treat and 3 Creep Show. And that's a lot of honorable mentions. All Hallows Eve, Theater Bazaar, Chilling Visions 5, Senses of Fear. Well, I have not seen that one.
No,
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
No. Wow. Least favorite, Dead on Appraisal, 2014. This movie.
I don't know that one either.
No. He said,
I remember it. I remember the cover art, but I never watched it.
I don't remember at all. This is what she says about it, though. This movie is the worst. I guarantee it rivals the awfulness of the infamous Death Escort Service. Whoa.
Is it weird that I'm stoked for Death Escort Service too?
No, because you're going to be a part of it, I'm sure.
You gotta be. They don't know what they're missing.
Yep.
If they don't know rotisserie cook you with that broomstick through your ass and up through your mouth.
Nice. Hey,
You
just another Saturday night.
we got to do something. We got to come out with some.
Top of the mops.
Top of the mops.
That's where that phrase
A
came from.
mop should be stuffed right up through your ass and mop your innards out your mouth.
Wow.
We just come up with different deaths for you for Death Escort Service. Every show, it's just a variation of what's going to happen to you in the sequel.
Okay, I'll have one next week. Yes. Yeah. Cliffhangers. We got to come up with bumper stickers or some shit like that so we can, or hats, exploding heads. In this way, maybe they'll put it in the movie. You know? Death Escort Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe they'll put it in. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. Casey Bates, my man. Black Sabbath, VHS 2, Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood's getting a little bit of rep out here. I like this. Mm-hmm.
Black Sabbath, Tales from the Hood. What was the other one?
VHS 2.
God, I'm very slow at writing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You could just write the names of the 8 films that will probably get mentioned and then just take
I
a little
tried to
mark.
do that, but then every nobody had thrown in Black Sabbath yet.
Yeah,
That's
well,
true.
there you go.
It's nice to
Threw
see
you for a loop.
a 60s film thrown in there.
Yep, that was the first, right. Yeah. Where are we? Mark Ball. Least favorite by far, VHS Viral. Fuck that movie. Good ones. Creep Show, Trick or Treat, Tales of Halloween. There you go.
Nice.
Yep. Sean Moriarty. 1, Trick or Treat. 2, Body Bags. Wow, Body Bags. 3, Black Sabbath. Least favorite.
Why that reaction? Sorry.
Why what reaction?
To body bags. You didn't like body bags?
I thought it was average at best.
You know what? You're right. But that first segment I thought was awesome.
You
Awesome.
sound like you're about to fight. The first segment in Body Bags is so good.
You know what? You know what I didn't like? I love John Carpenter, but he can't act worth a shit. And,
Yeah, dude.
and him being the Crypt Keeper wannabe was just not Crypt Keeper. Sorry, what was just not selling it. And then on top of it, there's really only one good segment.
It's good. Yeah.
But that's fine. That's me. Anyway.
It's and Toby Hooper. They had all kinds of people involved. I expected more, you know. And they were gonna make it into a mini series, and it just never happened. And I wonder why. It just didn't impress. I don't know.
What was Sean's least favorite?
Sean's least favorite was Campfire Tales. Again, it comes up.
Again.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Danny Bolday. Look at this. Number 1, Body Bags. Insanely underrated, in my opinion. Wow. Maybe I should watch it again. Second View Dave, you know?
Unrated. Get the unrated version with the so you actually see what happens to the guy getting crushed in the garage, the first segment.
In the gym?
So let's Toxic Adventure.
Toxic Adventure. He's the guy getting crushed. I don't know. You gotta get it. Joining a gym or running a gym. Oh, shit.
It keeps
So what
coming
did I
up.
say? Yeah, he doesn't stop. Body Bags, Trick or Treat, Creep Show 2 / Tales from the Hood. Yeah, okay, getting a little representation.
Man, a lot of people sneaking in 4 answers
They
here.
are, but they can do it. We love our listeners. We'll let them. Honorable mentions: Barrio Tales. I really enjoy this much and never see much about it. Barrio? What is it?
Yeah, it's a Mexican anthology.
I was gonna.
No, it is. It just came out, I think, last year.
I was gonna make the joke and held back on it.
No,
Okay.
it is.
It sounds Mexican. Barrio Tales. Okay.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that in Toxic Avenger when those nachos are flying. That's a barrio tale.
Oh, fuck. VHS Viral as his worst. Could not make it through that movie. Oh.
Did you get to the person who posted the picture of Romero and Stephen King?
Yes, I did. Yep. It's funny because I happened to put that pic up in the Skeleton Crew page the other day, not even realizing that it was here.
Oh yeah, that's a cool pic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a fucking movie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where the hell am I? Oh, Matt Canner. All right.
You and your horror movies.
There it is. Number 1, Creepshow 2. Number 2, Tales from the Dark Side. Number 3, Trick or Treat. Honorable mentions: Creepshow, Tales from the Hood, Horror Anthology, Volume 1. Wow. Wow, no shit.
Tales from the Hood, and what was the other one?
Well, you don't have to write. They're just honorable mentions.
Oh, I'm giving them votes if they give it an honorable mention.
Horror Anthology, Volume 1.
Oh, I'm not putting that. Sorry, Matt. I actually wanted to check that out, though.
Worst: Creepshow 3 and VHS Viral.
Those are honestly the two that just pop into everyone's head.
Apparently, yeah. Aaron West. I've only ever seen 4. Aaron, by the end of this show, you're going to have at least 10 more to watch when you listen to us. But number 1, Trick or Treat. Number 2, Creepshow. Number 3, VHS 2, stealing the place of the first one. So you like them both. Okay. All right, Sam Edwards. No particular order. Creepshow, Trick or Treat, Black Sabbath, or Tales from the Crypt would be tied. Another one sneaking in 4. And then Creepshow 3 has the worst anthology in existence. Damn. Okay. Derek B. All right, what do you got? Black Sabbath, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, and Tales from the Crypt. Honorable mentions: Torture Garden, VHS 2, Tales from the Hood, High 8. Worst: VHS Viral. Wow. And then we got a couple more. Chuck Knight says 1, Tales from the Crypt, 2, Creepshow, 3, Trilogy of Terror. Worst: Vault of Horror. Wow.
Really? Vault of Horror?
His number 1 is Tales from the Crypt, and he hates the Vault of Horror. Weird, huh?
He liked Tales from the Crypt, Creepshow, and what else?
Trilogy.
Trilogy of Terror.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Sam decided to add to his list earlier. He said, I didn't see the part about worst anthology. Worst: Creepshow 3. Just fucking horrible. So, yeah. So now that's the end of that. We'll go to the Twitterverse really quick.
Wow, we got a close one here coming in for first for favorites and first for least favorites. So the Twitterverse might make the difference here.
Let's see what we got for the Twitterverse. Let's get back to this.
Can we not say Twitterverse anymore?
You and your tweets.
What do they call it? I don't fucking
I'm joking.
know.
I'm joking. Just a Twitterverse like 4 times in the last minute. Yeah.
Did I really? That's because I'm scrolling. I don't know what else to say, so it's just rolling off.
No, I think between us, we just said Twitterverse
so it
more
wasn't
than
just...
ever needed to be said.
Because he's all liquored up.
Blood of the Virgin Wine again.
Ah, blood of the Virgin Wine.
Okay, let's see. Lee Russell says, wow, top From Beyond the Grave, Nightmares, Black Sabbath.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm thankful somebody finally said Nightmares.
Nightmares?
And From Beyond the Grave.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
I was surprised nobody... I just bought that.
And his bottom, Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. All right. Kevin Clark. Favorite anthologies are Creepshow, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, and Trick or Treat. Okay, here's our buddy J-Law. He's back. And J-Law says, fuck, what a question. Number 3, Black Sabbath. Number 2, Trick or Treat. Number 1, the first VHS. 10/31/98 is by far my favorite segment ever. Oh, and then worst is VHS Viral for being a crushing disappointment. Badass trailer for a horror piece of shit. Welcome to the shit. All right.
You know, I haven't seen Creepshow 3 or VHS Viral. I want to see them now just because of how much hate they've been given. Are they? I mean, I heard Creepshow 3 is that bad. Is VHS Viral that bad or just a disappointment?
It's a disappointment. We'll get there in a minute. We're going to talk about it.
I mean, okay.
Come on, Christian. You're better than that.
You know we're going to cover every
How's that list?
one.
How's that list going? We're not covering everyone. There's no way we have time for that.
No, I think I missed a few. I've been paying attention to which are in first and which are in last.
Of course, not everyone.
I'm just kidding.
Don't you worry. One is a list of a top 21, and then one is a ridiculous list that I have to read just to make fun of. So that's what that is. Because I'm ready to die. So,
Born to die.
I know, but I'm not. Hey, I'm singing Biggie. Damn it. Fuck that shit. So while Brandon tallies up our votes.
They're tallied.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. This isn't Dave Z math.
Yeah.
We actually have a tie for first.
A
For
tie?
favorite. A tie for first with favorites with 11 votes each.
Holy fuck.
Creepshow
Yes.
and Trick or Treat.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm not too surprised.
coming in third on that list. Now, I might have missed a Chad here or there. There might be a few hanging Chads, but Tales from the Hood came in third.
Wow. How cool.
And fourth was Black Sabbath.
Wow, that's cool, man. Tales from the Hood with the third spot?
Yeah, Tales from the Hood, third spot, and Black Sabbath in fourth.
Nice. Creepshow on top where it belongs. Yeah!
And Trick or Treat.
And Trick or Treat.
And least favorite, also a tie, with 6 votes each for Creepshow 3. And technically it's 5 votes for VHS Viral and that 1 vote for any VHS. But I'm throwing that any VHS into Viral. Even though he never saw it, that's where it belongs.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's the way to do it.
And then the only other movie that got more than 1 vote was Campfire Tales, got 2.
Damn. All right. So do you guys have a top 3? I could do mine quick. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, there's no surprise that
Creepshow 1, 2, 3. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. It's not Creepshow 1, 2, 3. No. Number 3. Number 3 is Tales from the Crypt. That's my number 3. I love that fucking movie. Number 2 is Trick or Treat. Number 1, of course, is Creepshow.
Nice.
So that's me. Yeah.
What's your least favorite?
Oh yeah, my lead. I guess I'm gonna have to say Creepshow 3. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Dave, mine's not much different than yours. The reason is 3 is interchangeable for me. It's Creepshow, Trick or Treat, and then 3. Honestly, I look. The ones that I like almost evenly, so it's very difficult. It could be Tales from the Crypt. It could be Creepshow 2. And it could be Trilogy of Terror. It could be any one. Those would be probably the next ones in line for the next spot.
See, the reason for me that Tales from the Crypt makes my number 3 is because I enjoy every segment. Where that's what it goes by for me. Like Trilogy of Terror, they're fine. I don't know if I can say I really like every segment, even though there's only 3 of them. And what's the other one you mentioned? Because I do like that. Creepshow 2?
Yeah.
I like it too. I do like it. I'm going to be reviewing it soon on Skeleton Crew. But I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. I just, there's a part of me that wishes I could take VHS 1 and VHS 2 and put them together for the ultimate. And, take the 5 best segments from 1 and 2, and that would have been easily the number 3, maybe even number 2. Because I think that stuff is that good. I just think that in each one, there's one that pulls it down far, That's my issue with those movies, but still good movies. But, so you're 1, Creepshow, 2, Trick or Treat, and then 3, as of right now, it's Creepshow 2.
I'd say Creepshow 2. Yeah, if I had to give it to it, I'm nostalgic for that. I loved it as a kid, and I do love all 3 segments. In that one, I've always loved all 3 segments.
Nice. We're reviewing it soon, so maybe you'll listen to that show.
Nah.
Creepshow 1. Nah, fuck it. No skeleton crew for you. He says forget about it. Okay, Brandon, what about you?
Barrio Tales 1, 2, and 3.
What is it?
Barrio Tales 1, 2, and 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking Barrio.
I love Asylum and Black Sabbath, so those would probably be like tied for 3rd, and then Creepshow at number 2 and Trick or Treat at number 1.
Right on.
And least favorite VHS Viral.
Okay. Oh, did you get a least favorite, Christian?
Well, I didn't see these 2 that everybody is adamant that's their least favorite. So I'm finding it very difficult because, like I said, Body Bags. Although really, I only like the gas station sequence. I don't mind the eye with Mark Hamill, the segment in there with the eye. But
right.
I don't know if I could say it's my least favorite. So I guess it's maybe the least favorite of the ones that I've seen. You know what? No, it wasn't. I would say Tales from the Dark Side. I remember going to the theater to see that movie and being bored by it.
Wow.
I was actually bored by Tales from the Dark Side movie. I will admittedly, we'll leave this as a cliffhanger. I'll check it out again, and I'll give you my official rating again, because I think that is I haven't seen it since the theater because I disliked it that much.
Wow, no shit.
Yeah. I remember just being bored, underwhelmed. I guess the disappointment that people are here feeling for VHS Viral. I remember going thinking, oh my God, this is going to be great. This will be like Creepshow for this generation. And it was just like, eh.
Oh, no, it's not Creepshow for this generation. No.
Well, that was last generation because that was back in like 90.
Oh, right. Creepshow for this generation is Trick or Treat. And that you could say that lived up to it,
And so is Trick or Treat 2 coming out this year?
Not positive yet. I don't know. Keep hearing different things. I'm not holding my breath.
Because it seems like Tales from Halloween and or All Hallows Eve has, like, whether maybe they're not going to do it every year, but it looks like they're going to probably come out with like an anthology every 2 years. Because that,
I hope.
Honestly, that packaging couldn't be easier to do. You get 4 or 5 directors to submit their movies, and then you pop on a wraparound. Those ones are a lot more simple. Really, they're using the theme of Halloween, and that's really it.
It's good. No, it's great. It's a great idea, and that's what I said when we were on 22 Shots. Is that and best idea for a franchise for a movie that came out this year. That's what I said was Tales of Halloween. I could see them doing that every year, because I don't know what's going to happen with VHS, and why not? You know what I mean? It's like you said, get directors together and do it. You know what though? I want to see an anthology movie where the same writer and the same director do the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Instead of having it all contributions. I want it to be like Creepshow, where King wrote them all and Romero directed the movie, and boom, there's a fucking...
Stronger that way.
It is stronger that way.
And I want to see a Tales from Thanksgiving. A Tales of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
With a killer turkey and a toxic cranberry sauce.
Yeah, and a cosplay, like some fucking pilgrims go crazy.
Yeah, pilgrims start killing people with rancid giblets.
Yeah. Let's start writing it, man.
All right, back to reality. What is the next segment?
Yeah, let's go to the next segment. Thanks, everybody, again, for your submissions.
Thank you, guys.
We really appreciate that. Okay, here's the next segment. One is, just to go over some other anthologies. The next one's going to be kind of a rib, kind of for fun because it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, this is a webpage called horror.about.com. About entertainment. The 25 best horror anthology movies by Mark H. Harris, horror movies expert.
I want to see some credentials.
I do too.
Are we experts?
I think we probably are.
Did you just refer to the next segment as just for ribs? Is it weird that we're talking about a black anthology, now we're talking about ribs? I'm sorry. That's it. I'm done.
You're bad. You can do it, though. You can get away with it because you're Jewish. You can
get away with it because I'm oppressed, too.
Because you're enemies of the clan, you know? You're together as enemies, you know? My friend, what is that expression? The enemies of my friends are my enemies, or something like that.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Maybe that's
Christian's just like, would you guys stop talking?
Right? Okay. Number 21. Here we go. 21. Dead of Night, 1977. Anybody know about this movie?
I know about it.
I know about it. I've heard the name. I've never seen it.
No, this was, what year was this?
It's made for TV, 1977. And one of them ended up being remade on Trilogy of Terror 2. One of the three
Dead of Night
segments. Dead of Night. Yep.
I think there's another Dead of Night too.
Yeah.
Okay. Dead of Nights. Are you kidding me?
I was thinking of the 1940s Dead of Night, which had the puppet story with Hugo in it. Another killer puppet named Hugo.
Oh, that's right. We talked about the last show.
Yeah, but that was the Dead of Night from 1945. Yeah. I'm not sure if the 77 version is a remake of that.
Yeah, that I don't know.
But I don't know.
So we don't know. All right. Well, maybe somebody watch it. I don't know. Tell us what you think.
I kind of want to watch it.
I hear you. 20s Body Bags. What are you going to say about that? Wow. Although
hey, Johnny, sleeping in a body bag.
Yeah! That's great. Although it doesn't live up to the potential of the teaming of directors John Carpenter and Tobe Hooper. Also, Wes Craven, Roger Corman, and Sam Raimi make cameos. This cable TV movie still proves entertaining, alternately chilling, and fun. Stories include, well, we don't have to get too in-depth there. You know what it is. So 20s Body Bags, 19 Tales from the Dark Side, Christian's favorite. George Romero. Oh, produced by George Romero, sorry. Okay. Yeah, this was supposed to be Creepshow 3. Do you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yes, this was supposed to be, initially it was going to be marketed as the third Creepshow. And I don't know how and why and everything else, but it didn't work out that way. And Tales from the Dark Side was becoming a television show, or already was, and it became that. It's co-written by Romero and Stephen King. So
he wants to change his vote now.
I'll check it out again. No, I'm not going to change it until I watch it again.
He's changing it.
I just remember the Hansel and Gretel. Is that the wraparound story?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, with Debbie Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that's the wraparound story, I think.
Yeah.
And so she's telling, I guess she's got the girl in the house, and she's telling the stories or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
she is.
Okay.
I always get that confused with Dead Time Stories. I don't know why, because they came out close to the same time. That's what nobody talks about, Dead Time Stories.
I'm surprised no one brought up Cat's Eye.
I know. Cat's Eye is another one nobody talks about. You're right. That's not half bad. All those movies seem to have one segment that everybody knows and that nobody knows the other segments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There's a standout. Yeah, there's a standout. Like the Cat's Eye. There's the one about the cat stealing the breath and that little guy. And not everyone remembers the other ones. You know?
I remember the smoker one.
The smoker. Right. Yeah. You hear about the smoker one. But just in general, a lot of these movies, you just hear about one of them. Like Trilogy of Terror is notorious for it. You only hear about the fucking Zoomy doll.
You know which one I used to love? I caught it on First Choice or HBO, but it was called First Choice up here. And it's called After Midnight. It's a fun movie. If you haven't seen it before, once again, it's got like three or four segments. And I remember them vaguely. I remember one of them specifically, just like you said, when you haven't watched a movie in a long time. But I probably saw that like 3 times, yet I still don't remember all of the movie.
I gotta watch this After Midnight.
After Midnight, yeah. It has the chick from Friday the 13th 4 that was also an American Ninja. Why can't I think of her name right now? She played the girl that takes her top off a lot in that movie.
Wait, rewind. What was she from besides American Ninja? Say it again.
Friday the 13th Part 4.
Oh,
the final chapter.
Take a drink. Final chapter, girl? Oh, was it Trish?
Not Trish. No.
Okay,
Sam.
one of the twins?
Sam.
Oh, Sam. Aronson.
Yeah.
Judy Aronson.
Yeah. Yes. I believe she's in one of the segments.
Okay.
Then there was Jimmy, the guy who played Jimmy Olsen. Is that the photographer from Superman?
It sure as fuck is.
Yeah, he's in one of the segments. And then I think Chris Sarandon is in one as well.
What's this called again? I'm writing this down.
After Midnight.
After Midnight.
Yeah. I come to think of it, I guess if we did like a top 10, it would probably be in there for me.
Maybe on show 100 we'll give top 10s for everything.
10 top 10s.
Yes.
Again, though, there's
10s.
some that I haven't seen that I will check out, and like Campfire Tales, I will check out, and Asylum, I'm gonna have to check out because it's been getting.
Yeah, get on it. Get on it. If we reach show 100, that's what it's gonna be. All 10 fucking lists. Top 10 everything. Okay.
10 top 10s.
10 top 10s. Strange Frequency, number 18 from 2001. No fucking clue what this is.
Just read about it. I think it's like they said it's like a rock and roll Twilight Zone type thing.
I'll tell you what. It aired on VH1.
Oh,
Well, there you go.
wait!
That's rock
I
and
read
roll.
about this one. Yeah, every segment has a music related theme to it or something because of that.
Yeah, it does. It has musical theme in each story. It's Judd Nelson's in it, Eric Roberts, John Taylor of Duran Duran. What the fuck? And Danny and Christopher Matheson. What the fuck? Huh. I don't know. I don't believe that this movie should be on a top 20 of fucking anthologies. I'm sorry. It's just kind of weird. Come on, VH1. And none of us know about it? I mean, it doesn't belong on a list. As far as I'm concerned. Now this next one is something that's... Nobody said a word about it. I don't know if a lot of people will count it because they might just consider it the pilot episode of something. But number 17 is Night Gallery from 1969.
Ah. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of Rod Serling, original Twilight Zone. I like the Night Gallery show. In this movie, this particular one, the first episode, because it was a movie. It was a TV movie.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It wasn't just an episode. It was a pilot, but this was a TV movie. This is something that I think is very overlooked, is this movie. I definitely love the first one with the painting, when it's getting closer and closer to coming out of the... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I love anything Rod Serling does. I think we just immediately just associate it with TV.
Yeah, of course. And it aired on TV, so that's fine. But I mean...
Yeah.
This was a good movie. I guess I could see it. It would be in my top 20. It might even be around this spot. That's fine. It's just, you never hear anything about it. Nobody ever says Night Gallery as their top. You know what I mean? You never ever hear it mentioned as an anthology movie.
No. More of a anthology TV show, and they'll say, and even then, it's usually maybe top 5 or something after Tales from the Crypt and Twilight Zone.
Yeah. But it's damn good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy it. In the first season of the show, I mean, to get off topic a little bit, it's a pretty fucking good show.
You have to go back and revisit it.
Yeah, it's all out. You can get them all on DVD now.
Yeah.
They're all
I have
out.
the Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone. I just am not as familiar with Night Gallery.
The Twilight Zone, it's my favorite show ever, period.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Twilight Zone's probably my favorite show ever because I've seen it so many times. Each episode, it's like you can almost recite them.
We should
Better
do a
than
special.
Murder, She Wrote?
Yes.
A little bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. We should do a special one day in the Twilight Zone. Maybe like each pick our top 3 episodes and then do the movie or something like that. I don't know.
Yes.
Here we go.
Angela Lansbury show.
But Night Gallery, very overlooked, unfortunately. But hopefully some people will watch it just based upon that. Number 16, Nightmares. There you go.
Woo!
Somebody was a fan, right? Christian, Brandon, one of you guys were.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah, I've watched it. I haven't seen it in ages, though.
I like it too. It's a little bit dated in a way. But
Like the arcade.
yeah, the arcade.
I love that segment.
But I enjoyed seeing Emilio Estevez in that situation, you know.
Emilio!
What's that one with the pickup truck. I remember not being too crazy about that.
Maximum Overdrive?
No, it's one of the fucking...
Oh, one of the segments?
Yeah, I remember there's a truck. It's kind of like a dual ripoff, almost. There was a priest or something. See, it's so forgettable you don't even know, and you're a fan of the movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I just ordered it. So I'll revisit it when it comes, and I'll talk to you about the Maximum Overdrive dual ripoff.
All right. But yeah, Nightmares, I'm fine with it being in this position. That's, it's not bad. Twilight Zone, the movie, number 15. Yeah. I fucking love this movie. It's probably, if I'm making a top 10, I have a strong feeling it's there. Yeah. I've seen this probably more than fucking any other anthology except Creepshow. Now, I know you like the show, Brandon. Are you a fan of the movie?
I do. I am. I do. I am.
I do. I am.
I am a fan.
I like it too. I like the movie a lot. It's a little upsetting that people died on the movie, but I mean that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's actually my favorite segment, and I would have loved to have seen like that as a completed segment.
Well, I mean, what else could have happened in that segment? It made sense the way it ended.
There's a lot more that was supposed to happen. I think he was going to redeem himself at the end. I think the whole idea was he saved 2 kids from the Nazi camp, and that's how they died.
Oh, he was going to save them?
Yeah, that's
and redeem himself.
He actually died while they were in water on a set, and
I know that
with
right.
the 2 kids. Yeah, it was with 2 kids. I think he was saving 2 kids.
Yeah, they were Vietnamese. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was saving them, and the blade got them when the chopper crashed.
Well, it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah, because I think it was supposed to be a totally different feel to it. I mean, now it's like the most depressing one because it's like, well, depressing depending on how you look at it.
But I'll tell you what, I don't think I'd want the ending to be changed. You saw the way that ended when he fucking sees his friends outside the bar and he's calling and he's being hauled off to the concentration camp. That's fucking dreadful. I mean,
yeah, I don't like that.
Of course you don't like it. Nobody likes it.
Oh man!
I'm just saying he was talking shit about Jews and he ended up becoming one. So he got his comeuppance again.
His comeuppance.
I'm always a fan of those type of situations where you're calling out to somebody and you're behind something and they're friends of yours and you can hear them and see them, but they can't hear or see you. I love when they do that in horror movies. I love that shit. And
yeah, that's why you love Asian horror so much.
That's one of the many reasons, yeah.
That's a staple of Asian horror.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, no, I do too.
And that's what happens at the end of this one. At the end of the thing, he gets hauled off. He sees his friends, hey. And so, how did they film that if that was supposed to be the ending? If they were supposed to have a different ending? What was that? Well, just in case you get whacked, we're gonna film this here. I don't know.
No, he got taken to the camp and then they had more footage of him at the camp.
Oh.
It was supposed to be like twice as long, the segment.
Really?
Yeah, there was more footage after that. That wasn't supposed to be the end. They just cut it down to there because out of respect, they weren't going to get different actors to fill in, But, yeah, there was more story. There was more filmed.
Man.
All the way up into the camp where he escapes and redeems himself, I believe.
Wow, interesting. Man, I'd like to see that script.
Oh, now you'd like to see it.
Yeah, I would. I'm not so crazy about the happy ending, but hey, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, we get the happy ending in episode 3, or not episode 3, episode 2, where with Scatman Carruthers, and that whole thing.
Where he starts shining.
When he starts shining, yeah. Only those that shine can see. Yeah.
Shine on, you Chris Diamond.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Kick the can. Yeah. But
wow.
Yeah, that's a great movie. We could go on. That's honestly kind of a weakness of it. I do really enjoy that episode, but it's not horrific whatsoever.
I heard the Vic Morrow segment was supposed to be called Kick the Jew. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, that's it.
And the last 2 are great. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, it is a great movie. I can't believe I totally forgot about it when I was naming my favorites, but it would definitely make a top 10.
Easily. Probably 5. Yeah, big fan. Okay, how about anyone know this? After Midnight from 1989?
No, I don't remember bringing it up about 10 minutes ago.
Never heard of it. Is this the one with what's her name from Friday 4?
I want to punch everybody in the face right now.
Oh, fuck. I'm a fucking idiot.
I didn't realize you were talking about the girl from Weird Science.
After Midnight. Yeah, let's see. Is that her? Let me see the picture. Is she on the cover here? Let's see. After Midnight.
You know, it's a bizarre cover of, like, I think, like, a vortex of time. There's a girl screaming. I think there's a clock and something like that. There's a couple of different artwork covers for this.
That might be her on the left. After Midnight. That might be Judy Aronson. That might be her. Wow.
Yeah, I think they went with a very generic cover now.
Yeah, it's like 3 people in front of a building. Yeah.
That was awful.
But that's it. 1980, number 14. Yep, it's a stranded couple take refuge in a creepy old house where 5 people were murdered. That sounds like a fucking slasher. 4 teenage girls go out of town late one night at a rundown gas station with a deranged attendant and his vicious dogs.
Yeah, see, I mixed that up. So the first segment's with Jimmy. Second segment's with Julie.
Jimmy, Julie, and a woman working the night shift for a telephone messaging service is stalked by a caller.
Yeah. The wraparound, I think, has Chris Sarandon.
All right, I'm checking this out. I'm definitely checking this movie out.
I looked at the credits. I didn't see Chris Sarandon's name in there.
It's, you know what? I might be wrong.
Maybe. Number 13, Tales from the Hood. Anybody ever hear of that one?
No. What's that?
I don't know. It's number 13 here, so it must be decent. I don't know. Okay, number 12. From a Whisper to a Scream, 1987, a.k.a. The Offspring. Yeah, wasn't this one of Vincent Price's last ones?
Yeah, I think it was. From a Whisper to a Scream. Yeah, 80. You said 87, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did Edward Scissorhands, but I think he came, and that's the actual last thing he did.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands was... Remember he died?
On screen?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I don't remember that. Did Johnny Depp kill him?
I'm pretty sure that was his swan song. That was the last thing.
Johnny Depp, went to check his prostate. He lived all the way up on the hill. He didn't want to go down to see his proctologist. He said, "Edward, do me a favor."
Jesus Christmas.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit down on a legend. But just so that, it wasn't Chris Sarandon. We'll just put this to rest. It was Rami Zada.
Yeah, that's
How the
totally...
fuck is that?
I always get them confused.
Yeah, me too.
I honestly...
Chris Sarandon reminded me of a young Rami Zada.
At this point, I just want to say fuck you to both of you. Just
Did you say Zarata?
Zada.
Oh, Zada. I was going to say Sarandon, Zarata. Kind of sounds familiar. I was going to get the pass.
There's no connection whatsoever.
Shit. I was pulling for you, man. Oh, here we go. Number 11, Campfire Tales. See? Some other people like this movie.
I don't remember it too well. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember hating it.
It's not bad.
I'll have to revisit. I have to revisit a lot of these anthologies.
Check it out, guys.
Yeah, we should. Not that we're planning ahead, but we should definitely continue to have anthology shows sprinkled in every now and then because they are fun.
We're going to do anthology shows again.
We're definitely gonna.
Absolutely. We're going to have a listener's choice soon, too, right?
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe they'll choose anthologies.
Yeah,
or maybe they'll choose a Rami Zada retrospect. What's the guy's name?
I'm not even going to say. Yeah, fuck you.
Rami Zada?
Rami, go fuck yourself.
The guy who plays, he's basically a young Chris Sarandon.
He's a poor man, Chris Sarandon. That's all.
He was an actor in Guided Light. That was his big claim to fame. He was in 2 Evil Lives, actually. George Romero and Dario Argento.
Oh, that's on anthology. Yeah, wow, no one even mentioned that.
No.
Wow. We'll see if it shows up on any list. Let's see. Speaking of list, number 10, Crooked House. What?
Yeah.
Crooked House.
We just won it at the same time.
Okay, 2008. Okay, It's a century-spanning British anthology, aired on BBC as a miniseries in 3 30-minute episodes,
Ooh,
each
BBC.
telling a ghost story from a different era set in and around the same cursed house, and each creepier than the one before it. This is classic old-fashioned haunted house stuff. Stories include... Yeah, I won't get into it, but...
See, this is listed as a TV show, as a TV series. Because it went 4 episodes, it says.
Well, we'll get back to you on that. I'm looking it up. I'm just...
We'll come back to you on that, Chuck. Like the
I don't know.
weatherman.
Right, I don't know what else to say when we're on the show and this comes up and I'm stumped. I don't know. I'm going to look it up, like, in a different way and see if I can locate it. Can you buy it, is the question.
I'll check that out.
Okay, you do that.
Going on with the list, I will check
All
availability.
right, number 9, Asylum. There it is.
Good movie. Check it out, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The young Randy. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, see, this is the first time that twist happened. The one that foreshadows a tale of two sisters. And another movie that we talked about on our top 10 movies of the year. Interesting. I'm not going to say it because it gives everything away. But Asylum. How have I've seen it, but I remember very little. And I don't remember that crazy twist. So I'm a little confused.
Yeah, Asylum's good. I don't know if Crooked House has a Region 1 release, but it has a Region 2 release.
Naturally.
But you can get it for $6, less than $6.
Nice. Okay.
Region 2.
That's
So
what I can do. Is it DVD?
it is, yeah, DVD.
I don't have a region-free DVD. Oh, well, maybe PS3 would probably work. Okay. That's the thing, guys. If you have a PS4, you better keep your PS3. Because you need them both. Because PS4 doesn't play dick. PS3 will play just about anything. So I have to keep both. So, just a word to the wise out there. Keep your PS3. Don't sell that shit. Because it plays just about anything.
Especially Dick.
It plays dick. Yeah. Oh, number 8, Qui-Gon. This is a classic here.
You know, I never saw it. This was one that I was going to just bring up as, if it didn't get mentioned, as one that I want to see. This one has a Criterion release.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
I really need to see this movie. I like anything
Japanese.
Criterion pretty much puts out. They put out obviously great films.
Yeah, they do. Japanese fucking horror. I mean, that's my shit.
This one's old too. This one's from the 60s, right?
Yeah, it's from 1964.
Yeah. But
no one else has seen it?
No.
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, check it. Oh, here we go. Number 7, Dead of Night, 1945.
Hugo, the doll.
There it is. A ventriloquist believes his brazen dummy is alive. It's the 4th one.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, there's a Christmas. A young woman encounters a ghostly child at a Christmas party. Huh.
Yeah, another one I want to check out.
The groundbreaking and surprisingly trippy British film. Set the stage for the plethora of British anthologies that would follow in the 60s and 70s. Wow. Dead of Night.
We have lots of films to watch.
Cool. All right, number 6, 3 Extremes, 2004. Good stuff.
Yeah. You said you liked part 2 also, Dave, right?
Yes. Well, part 2, I really like the third one. I liked the first, but it's the kind that I need to watch again.
The third one is great.
It is great. The second one, not so good. But
the puppet one?
Yeah.
That one probably the weakest. The first one, what was the first one again?
It was fucked up. The guy's wife was missing, but she was actually dead, and it turns out he actually killed her. And different perspective. It's like a lot of
creepy. It's very creepy.
It's creepy. It has that vibe that a lot of Asian movies have.
Yeah.
That it's really cool, but the thing is, it requires a second watch to really see what the fuck's going on.
I actually just rewatched it for 2002, but that third segment was phenomenal.
And you know that 3 Extremes 2 came out before 3 Extremes 1?
Yeah, because I see that sometimes it's just referred to as 3.
Yeah, this is called 3 Extremes, and it came out in 2004. The other one, part 2, came out in 2002, so I don't know.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. But this one has Mickey, fucking Chan-wook Park.
Yeah.
And Fruit Chan as the directors. So they're good.
Did you say Long Duck Don?
Yeah, Long Duck Dong.
Okay.
Let's just offend everybody tonight.
No, these were 16 candles.
What's happening? Maybe. I know who Long Black Dog is.
No, I just want the listeners to know. I don't want them to think, oh my God, all he does is insult these different races.
Which you're doing just through
I'm
movie
doing through
references.
movies, though. Through our shared love of movies.
It's an intelligent way to do it. Oh, I've only offended you through movies.
And I'll tell the viewers, like I tell everyone, whenever I tell a joke about any sort of race group, my father's Asian. He's not, but he is whatever the joke is.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, you can just say you have a girlfriend that's Asian. That's the easiest way to do it.
That's believable, because you know us Jewish guys and our Asian women.
Yes, and when you get older, it'll be black women.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not a joke. That's a fact. Damn it, I know. Don't tell me you don't know, because it's true.
I know.
I can't blame them. I love them myself. So,
Okay,
but anyway,
hey,
top 5. Here we are. Trilogy of Terror, number 5. Yeah. Did you guys know that they're written by Richard Matheson? All of them?
No.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I fucking love what that man writes. Definitely. But, yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? Trilogy of Terror, it's fucking a classic. And Karen Black is just phenomenal. I mean, think about it. They took one chick and put her in 3 of them. 3 segments. The same girl.
and the son of the doll went on to star in Ooga Booga.
Forgot about Ooga Booga. Right. Nice.
I'm not one of these people, like, even though I've seen that movie a bunch of times, like, I have nothing in terms of factual information to give out right now, so I just have to go with a joke every time. I have nothing.
It's good, though.
You see Ooga Booga so many times?
Ooga Booga.
Ooga Booga Booga Booga. Yeah. Nice. All right. Number 4 is Creep Show. 4? What the fuck?
Well, it depends what's ahead of it.
Nothing can... Please. All right. Number 4 is Creep Show. Number 3 is Black Sabbath. Oh, I know Brandon's going to be okay with that.
I'm very okay with that. Black Sabbath's phenomenal.
Great band.
Great band, too. Right. But great... Listen, I'm fine with the movie. I really am fine with it. There's a lot of good things going on with it. It's just not Creep Show to me. Creep Show is an entity all its own.
No. Black Sabbath's more of a number 3 movie. Creep Show's clearly a number 4.
Damn. Woo! I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear it. All right. But yeah, Black Sabbath, please. Go see that movie if you haven't. Straight up. Mario Bava, shit, man. Good stuff. 2, Tales from the Crypt. 1972.
Okay.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's a fucking great movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. And number 1, this is what I take issue with. And I mean, okay, number 1 is Trick or Treat. And I'm fine with Trick or Treat.
It's a modern masterpiece.
Listen, I'm fine with Trick or Treat. It's my number 2. It's just not Creep Show. It's just, I don't know. A lot of people are going to probably disagree with me. So yeah, I'll say it without any malice. Trick or Treat, number 1. Okay.
I love Trick or Treat.
I like it a lot. I really do. I just think that the sum of the parts, or I forgot that expression. I never know how to say it. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's atmosphere. It's amazing atmosphere. As far as the story being very strong, I can't say they all are. That's all. But
You said it right.
They're not bad.
I like some of those parts. I like some of his parts.
Yeah, some of his parts. Anyway, yeah. I mean, we all had it on our list, right? Didn't we all
I
three?
feel the same with Creep Show, though. I don't feel like all the stories in Creep Show are great.
Maybe not, but the presentation of Creep Show is amazing.
What's your favorite story segment on Creep Show?
Something to tide you over.
Yes.
Leslie Nielsen
yeah. He's awesome.
steals the fucking show. He's so good.
He's hilarious in it.
That's the best.
He is hilarious. He is. I laughed the whole time. He's great as a fucking bad guy. He's funny. You know, he's got charisma. But Creep Show, it's in a league of its own to me. It's like the presentation, like the soundtrack is so underrated. It's incredible. The way they use the lights, it's colorful. It's the way they use the comic book gimmick. It's just like nothing else like it. It just like sits on a pedestal to me. So, you know, that's just me personally. It is what it is. It's in my top 10 horror movies, period. So, of course, it's my favorite anthology. And I'm not knocking Trick or Treat. I think it's a great movie. I just,
I'm not sure either one of those movies would be in my top 10 horror movies.
No, I understand that. No one has them in their top 10 horror movies, really.
Well, you just said Creepshow would be in your top 10 horror.
Me, yeah, but just me.
I'm just trying to think if there was going to be an anthology, it would be Trick or Treat, but it's so hard to say where it would fit in.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. Okay, now that we finished that, as I was searching for what to do with these lists, I came across this webpage, and it's called hellhorror.com. Has anyone heard of this page?
No.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you something. They have a bunch of top 10 lists. Now, for some reason, the other top 10 lists, they're there. It goes 10 to 1, and it gives you an explanation. Number 10 is this. Different things. Top 10 zombies, top 10 vampires, etc. So I found top 10 anthologies because I was searching for what to read on the show, and I came across this. Now, instead of showing us the top 10, it's hard to explain, but they give us the top 20. No, they give us the top 19, okay? Now, here's their top. Now, listen to what their fucking top. Let me listen. Just listen to this. Number 19 is Dead Time Stories. Anybody? Okay, I know what it is. You guys
I know what it is.
Okay, well, it's their number 19, okay? Number 18 is Scary or Die from 2012.
What?
Okay.
Is that a movie?
Apparently, yes. Number 17 is VHS Viral. Okay.
What?
Yes.
Number
Yes.
17?
Yes, it is. VHS Viral. Let me talk about Viral. I do not hate it the way everyone else does. I knew it was going to be a piece of shit when I saw the trailer. I don't know why, but I did. It's just one of those things I said it would be, and I was right this time, so I'm going to brag. But the first one was a good story, but it was not found footage. That was my beef. It was The Magician. And it was a good story, but it was not found footage, and it's hard to explain. VHS 1 and 2 made an art of finding different ways to implement found footage into their stories, right? This one was weakly done. The story was fine, but it was not found footage. That was my first beef. The second one was very good, and the third one was fucking horrendous. And the wraparound, it's very subjective. It's hard to explain, but it's weird.
Hard to explain. I didn't understand a fucking thing about the wraparound. That's what I hated about it. I'm like, what? I just couldn't make sense of any of it.
I don't know. I think maybe it made sense, but you really have to pay attention or something.
I might have to rewatch that giant turd.
I don't think it was a giant turd. So okay, you thought the first one sucked with The Magician?
Actually, the Magician one was okay.
Okay, what about the second one with the alternate realities? I thought that was the best one.
The alternate realities.
Remember the guy sees himself in a different time and he goes into his realm and the guy comes in his realm and ends up getting with his wife and he stays on the other side and it's all fucked up shit?
Oh yeah, I like that one.
That's what I'm saying.
I really liked it. The third one was the kids on the bicycles.
Yeah,
right?
which went on way too long and became fucking a one-trick pony and it was just too much. It sucked, kind of,
Yeah, that one I didn't really like.
I don't think it's the piece of shit everyone's.
No, it's you know what? If I was, I'm not gonna rate it now because I only saw it once and it's been a while. But it's just it is compared to the first two, which had such strong standout stories, and even the lesser of the ones that we didn't like on the first two are pretty much better than the standouts on Viral.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what it is. That's why people hate it so much. I think if you were to go back and really watch it, if people were truly to give honest criticism of Viral, it wouldn't be as horrible.
Right.
But it wouldn't be great.
In comparison, no. I think the second one would have fit in any of the other two, though.
Yeah, that was a good one. Now that you remind me of it, I remember that now. I did like that one.
It fits in. The first one was a good one, but doesn't belong on a found footage movie. It belongs on some other anthology. It should have been on fucking All Hallows Eve 2 or something. Christian, you didn't see it? Okay. Damn it. Well, check it out and get back to us. Cliffhanger. Okay, number 16, The ABCs of Death. I don't know.
I'm very mixed with those.
Okay.
Some of them are good. Some of them are trash.
As most of us are. Number 15, Necronomicon, Book of the Dead. I don't know a fucking thing about this movie.
Never saw it.
Right? Okay. So this is hell horror. Okay. These are high rated. 14 Tales from the Dark Side. Okay. 13 Trilogy of Terror. Okay. 12 VHS. All right. 11 Creepshow 2. Now we get into their top 10. Their number 10 is ABC's The Death 2.
Really?
So they're saying ABC's The Death 2 is better than Trilogy of Terror, VHS, and Creepshow 2. Are you fucking serious?
The only thing I could say about having ABC's of Death 2 on that list is that they have it higher than Part 1, which I actually liked Part 2 a little bit better.
I agree. But
it does not. But neither one belongs on that list.
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, number 9, Tales from the Hood. Okay.
All right.
That's fine. We're not going to argue with this. Number 8, Three Extremes. Okay. Number 7, Twilight Zone the movie. All right. Number 6, A Christmas Horror Story. Which, whatever, we enjoyed it.
Does this list have any like old movies, or is it just all like more contemporary?
I'm just reading what it says. Number 6 is The Christmas Horror Story.
I actually really liked Christmas Horror Story.
I liked it too. It's just not a top 6.
No, you got to cut out that school segment.
Yeah. What were you saying, Christian?
I was just going to say, I have a feeling I'll watch it every Christmas season, though.
I might. I'll watch Krampus for damn sure. As far as that, yeah, probably too. You're right.
If it ever comes out, I'll watch Krampus.
It's coming. Okay, number 5 is Creepshow. No Respect again. Number 5. Number 4.
I told you it was a number 4 movie.
Number 4 is VHS 2. Now, I enjoy VHS 2. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I just number 4. I don't know.
It just sounds like this list is all pretty much contemporary. You know, a few 80s thrown in there, but nothing old.
It's fucked up. Number 3, Stephen King's Cat's Eye.
That's way too high for that movie.
Yeah. Come on.
I have nostalgia for that movie because that's like one of the earliest anthologies I remember seeing over and over on TV, and you know, the last story especially always creeped me out.
I do like the last story. I'm with you. I
love how the cat, you know, and the dog get it on.
I just think
that came out so wrong.
The cat and the dog get it on.
Clearly, the time is affecting my speech.
Nice. Okay. Tales of Halloween, number 2.
Ugh. Are you kidding me?
Right?
I was so disappointed with Tales of Halloween.
Oh, really?
I only saw it. Look, I didn't hate it by
it.
any means. You know, it was definitely above average in terms of my rating for it. But it's definitely one I need to re-see, but I wasn't blown away like I was hoping to be.
Well,
I like
just
it.
Because segments would just start and end. Like, it felt like there wasn't a lot of payoff all the time.
Yeah.
With some of the segments. Mm-hmm. Some of them had it, some of them didn't. Same thing with All Hallows Eve, too. I just felt like they just said, oh, you know what, we'll throw it in there because it's kind of cool. But it just happened, and then you just buy it or you don't buy it. And they're on to the next one anyway, so...
I'm not buying it.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It's not number 2?
No, it's not number 2. It's fucking ridiculous. It's not better than Creepshow or Creepshow 2 or fucking any of these movies we've discussed. It's just, I don't know.
Is number 1 at least Trick or Treat?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
So that redeems itself, you're telling me?
It redeems itself that it belongs in a top 5. Like, to me, it's my favorite when I think of them. And I haven't seen some of the older ones, you know, like Dead of Night and Quiet On, or however you say it. But
right.
It really is a terrific anthology film. And I love it. It's got so much rewatchability.
I'm not complaining about it. I just think that a lot of the stuff on this list, having 2 of the ABCs of Deaths in the top 20 of any fucking anthology list is ridiculous. Having Cat's Eye at number 3, VHS number 2, and no mention of VHS 1.
Yeah, this just seems like a really subjective list from a somewhat lunatic.
I don't know. I'll tell you something. About hellhorror.com. After I saw that, I saved it. And just about 2 days ago, I saw that they broke a story. American Horror Story next season is about to be about Slender Man, they said. Now
Yes, I
well,
heard that.
well, yes, you did hear it. You heard it about a month ago, and the rumors were debunked about fucking 1 or 2 days later.
Really?
It's not going to happen.
I didn't hear the debunking.
Yeah, they said no.
Boo.
But the bottom line is this. This hell horror broke the story like it was new.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what is with this website, but it's pretty ridiculous.
Maybe he's in an alternate dimension where he gets his news like 4 weeks later than everyone else.
I don't know.
See if 2 days from now he debunks the Slenderman story.
But he rates Cat's Eye number 3. I don't know what to tell you about him. I just...
We need to have a Slenderman movie, though.
Fuck Slender Man.
Why? He's
I'll tell you
creepy
why.
as hell.
Because my daughter is 9 years old and she's been talking about him for 2 years. I'm not interested in seeing something that my daughter thinks is scary as fucking the lead antagonist on something that I hold in such high regard as American Horror Story. That's all. It's just...
See, I don't hold American Horror Story in that high regard anymore.
Holy fuck. What? Did you watch this last season?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I will.
What the fuck? Okay. Another. We'll talk about that another time.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, next
Will
year.
Dave's head implode?
Dude, every season is great on that show. I'll just leave it at that.
That list was definitely head imploding.
Oh, thank you. Holy fuck. What? That's why I read it. Just because I came across it, I'm like, this is too ridiculous not to share. So, hellhorror.com. Thank you for that entertainment.
Go fuck yourselves.
All right.
Do we want to start wars?
Yeah, we're gonna fucking fight everybody now. Sure. Let's do it. Oh shit, that's all we need. We're offending fucking races, religions, listeners, websites. What's next?
We love everyone.
I do. I know I do.
I do too.
I do it out of love.
Christian doesn't. I've heard Christian talking mad shit about people before the show.
I got nothing but positive things to say. I used to have podcast wars on a couple of the old shows, and I said never again will I argue with anybody on a podcast, or not on a podcast, but online and talk about it on a podcast or any of that stuff. It's all pleasantries from me. So there. This is an older, mellower Dave Z.
Pleasantries and toiletries.
Yes.
That's an offshoot podcast.
Yeah. That's my mantra.
I won't be on that one. I'll be on who's the asshole of the day. That'll be my next podcast.
Unlistenable Assholes return. You want to be on that show? Yeah. Nice. All right, let's do it. Okay. So that brings us to our feature presentation.
Okay, Southbound 2015. 5 interlocking tales of terror follow the fates of a group of weary travelers who confront their worst nightmares and darkest secrets over one long night on a desolate stretch of desert highway.
Okay. Before we get into this, I want to ask Brandon a question, because I don't know if you remember this, but we were in a group chat the other day.
Yes.
And you said that you were watching Southbound at the time. And then you hit the thumbs up button a bunch of times in a row. So
I do that sometimes.
That's okay. I know you do. I know. So I made a corny joke and I said, what are you doing over there jerking off? You know? And you said, I'd rather be jerking off. So, one guy to another, I realize that any alone time is a good time to jerk off. That's fine.
This is not where I thought the conversation was going. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
Well, hold on. And I respect that. If you're alone, nobody's around, jerk off, fine. But were you saying that you wanted to fucking rub one out because the movie was so bad? Or just because, you happen to be alone and say, because, I'd rather be jerking off than doing almost anything, which I can respect.
Honestly don't know why I said that. It just seems to happen a lot in the group chats, especially when just bullshitting with the guys. It's a lot of jerking off talk and a lot of name calling. All we
That's
do is
fine.
pretty much insult each other and kind of talk about jerking off.
That's
But to
fine.
be honest,
You were just responding to my lame joke with a lame joke of your own. That's all. It was just.
Ooh, that hurt.
Why?
Lame joke.
Well, okay. You were responding to my good joke with a funny joke of your own.
I was responding to your lame joke with a good joke of my own.
There you go. I can accept that. My feelings.
No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't part of this group chat, and I just want to say, I don't ever want to be part of this group chat. Like, hey, fuckface, yeah? I gotta go jerk off, dickwad. Okay. You go do that. I might just jerk off in peace and not actually broadcast it on the interweb.
It wasn't as long a conversation as they made it out to be. It was basically me hitting the thumbs up 40 times in a row just to be annoying, him saying, "What are you doing jerking off?" and me saying, "I'd rather be jerking off." Mm-hmm. After I told him I was watching Southbound.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's all it was. So I was trying to say, was that a slant on Southbound, or was that just a normal thing to say?
Absolutely not, because I actually went back and rewatched Southbound again.
Oh, so the second I was gonna say this.
I didn't watch it all. I watched it kind of like halfway through the first time, and then I had to stop. So then when I started it up again, I actually started from the beginning. So I saw the first half twice, and the ending once.
Okay, well, I cannot wait to watch this the second time, because watching it the first time was a little too confusing, because we're expecting an anthology. And when one ends, the other one begins, and we were not really privy to that as the viewer.
Yeah, so, this just intertwines right into the next one.
Which I liked. I know.
I loved it. I loved it.
I thought it was a great way of doing it. Some are better than others. Like the first one, it kind of just follows that maid over to the door, and then we're onto the next story. But I loved how, I guess, episode or segment 2 goes into 3. I thought that was the most successful one.
That was confusing.
Segment 1 ties in with segment 5.
Well, of course. Well, yeah.
Way in and way out. I have all the titles.
Me too.
Okay,
way out.
All right.
Yeah.
The way out and the way in. And obviously, it's kind of backwards. But yeah, I mean, because at the beginning you see what follows after what they show us at the end. It's kind of backwards in that respect.
Yes.
But I got to tell you right off the bat, I loved what the fuck was going on with those two guys in the bay. Not so much because you don't really know what it is at the time, but when you see those things hanging in the sky in the distance,
yes,
incredible, so fucking cool and haunting. I loved them. And there's one moment where the one does come down and it fucking takes out the guy, and it's like a kind of a shitty CGI stab for a second. But then it goes right back to showing these creatures close up. And yeah, they're better in the distance, but it was CG and it still looked cool, though.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that. It was not bad CG. Even the kill itself, it looked CG, but it wasn't, terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. And the after effect, the gore.
Yeah.
It was great. I'll say right off the bat, in every segment, there's either gore or blood or something. And most of it's done pretty well.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I thought the soundtrack was good. I like how they bring you into the movie. I know we were talking, someone brought up music earlier, but I also just love how we're brought into the movie. It looks good, and you're in for the story, and I thought it just threw you in, and I bought into it. Right away I bought into it, and I thought it was very successful. I thought the way out, Radio Silence, did they start on YouTube?
I don't know.
I believe they did.
Really? Well, they were involved in VHS with the rest of these people.
Yeah, but
I think
they started on YouTube, I think.
Wow.
And I thought they did a great way in how the first story becomes the wraparound, so to speak. I mean, and ultimately, I love the posters for this movie, too. I think that should be said right out of the gate.
So cool.
Poster art is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a cool poster.
And it fits in with eventually what we learn about in the plot.
Yes.
It fits in. It ties in, like everything else ties in.
Yeah. And this debuted in Toronto at the film festival. And it got mixed reviews. Like, some people thought it was absolutely phenomenal and fresh and great. Other people, of course, you got a bunch of naysayers too. I'm with the fresh and great. I thought I was just saying right before we started talking about this segment. I was telling Brandon that this could be a top 5 anthology, maybe even top 3.
Wow.
It could
Wow.
be. It could be. I'm
Holy
just saying.
fuck.
The one thing about this though, is that it loves to leave you in limbo and make you fill in the blanks. But I think a movie's successful if it gives you enough to think about without just being a what the fuck. And I think there was a lot more what the fuck than just leaving you to fill in the. I mean,
there's a few stories in particular that have a few more what the fucks.
Yeah.
That if you can just piece them together, I totally agree with you that this could easily turn into one of my favorite anthologies. I don't know where I put it on the top, but I absolutely loved it.
Wow. I'm so happy to hear this because these guys were talking amongst themselves before we came on. Just for a moment, I was gone. I came back, and they said that they agreed on something, and what Brandon said was, I didn't want to be the only one like I was for the boy last week. So now, if you listen to our last show, he was the one that didn't like the boy, and he was alone on it, where Christian and I liked it more. So I was thinking that both you guys were going to hate the movie when you said that. So that left me I was like, oh, they're really both not going to like it? And now this took me by total surprise that you both do like it.
Oh yeah.
I love the setup for the first story. I love the fact that they keep driving, they keep coming back into the town. I immediately, and I didn't even realize that they referenced it in the movie, but I immediately thought of In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, I didn't even know I missed the reference, but yeah,
the waitress in the diner who says you have to buy something. Her name is Sutter, after Sutter Kane from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I read that on here. Like I never would have. I was trying to look at her name tag in the movie. I couldn't see it, but I read that on here.
I love little Easter eggs or little things like that afterwards.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh, that's awesome because that's immediately what I thought about.
Like an off cuff, like that's a horror fan reference. We're not talking about naming someone Carpenter or Craven, even though those are horror fan reference. That's been now done to death. It was great back in the late '80s and whatever, but now that's something that is that's just super cool because you know that that's for us.
Yeah,
even though I didn't get it.
But still, now you know that's sweet. Next time you see it, you'll look. That's
I love that mystery around there, and just how that whole thing was set up with them going there before the looping, just as they got into the diner. It was great.
Mm-hmm. She's like rough night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at first I'm thinking she's being kind of nonchalant considering the guy has blood on his face and a lot on the back of his neck. And
yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, he's got a lot of blood on his neck.
Mm-hmm. But it comes out later as to why.
Yeah.
But the first time, that's what I'm saying. I really can't wait to watch it the second time because I watched this the first time, and I watched it yesterday, and I took notes and this and that. And at one point, I was really confused, even going from the 2 to the 3, because I didn't know when one was ending and one was beginning and why this is happening. I'm like, when's the next chapter coming? And I'm waiting for it to happen, and now realizing that this is done in a loop form. It's kind of revolutionary for an anthology where it's just one into the other, right?
That was great, but they actually did a good job of telling you kind of like where you can pause it. Like here, okay, pause it now.
In retrospect, yeah, but when I was watching yesterday, like going from 2 to 3, when the girl leaves the first thing, with the witches, and then she gets hit, and then I'm still thinking it's her story. Then it becomes the next guy's story, and so nobody told me, which is fine.
I love that actually.
I'm glad. Yeah, there's not a spoon to be seen in sight. That's fine. They're not spoon feeding us anything. They're telling us just enough to tell us. There's enough backstory. They're looping it. It's fine, which is why I can't wait to watch it a second time. But confused at first, I will admit that I was.
Well, and I was in certain segments as well. I thought it was not as successful going from the accident segment to Jailbreak. I thought that one was, again, I saw the transition happen. That one, I think you knew it was transitioning because you had already been, you already experienced that first one from session 2 going into 3. So 3 going into 4. I thought that 4 was the weakest. Jailbreak. I thought was the weakest entry.
I agree.
In this one.
I agree that it was the probably the most what the fuck one.
Mm-hmm.
But they just throw you into a weird scene in
I kind of actually love the way it transitioned from the accident to Jailbreak.
Okay. Well,
It was kind of creepy to me, but like fitting based on, especially once you really knew what was going on at the end.
I
And
thought more was going to happen. I thought it was going to be more about the bar than anything, because when the guy walked
I'm
in,
with you. Yeah.
right, and the guy said, there's a lot of shithole bars or something like that. He tells him, and then doesn't he say something like, this is the wrong bar to be doing this? And then he kind of turns into something, that one guy, that biker looking guy. So I thought it was all going to be about that bar. And because the girl was on the phone talking to the guy from the segment previous, I thought that this bar held some type of secret society or something, that bar was what was fucked up. So I didn't expect them to go off into a tattoo parlor, which was irrelevant to the bar. That's what was kind of weird to me,
Yeah.
In order to save the spoilers, because this is kind of a tough movie to do it. When you see the movie for yourself, you'll know why. We're just going to save the spoilers for the end. We'll try to go segment to segment and say everything we can about them until the end. So, I mean, we basically talked about the beginning. These two guys are on the run. The things are flying in the sky. We didn't mention that the guy had a picture of a girl, right? And they're looking at it. And a young girl, like it would be his daughter or something like that. You know what I mean? And they're running away, and they stop at the bar. And then, when they're at the bar, is that when he gets that, wait a minute, is it him? No. Is it in the bar when all of a sudden he gets pulled by that invisible force and it's the shirt?
Yeah, he's in the bathroom. He gets pulled by like some invisible force, and then the whole diner is shaking.
Shaking, yeah.
Right, yeah. And it's a shirt that's pulling him, and that shirt's going to come back in later on. I don't know if you realize that or not. I that ties in, because this is the way out and the way in. It ties everything in.
Yeah.
So these guys are doing their thing, and they can't get out, and the one thing comes down and it kills the one guy, and then the other guy goes to a hotel, and then all of a sudden he sees this girl. You believe it's the girl in the picture, and he's calling.
Yeah, it's his daughter, Catherine.
Right, and he's chasing her, and she's going in a room, and then she's gone, and then he's going here, and then she's gone, and then we don't see what happens to him. He's just looking for this girl.
It's the same room.
Continue looped. It's like he's looping himself.
It's a loop, and she keeps asking for his help.
Okay, so that is what I wasn't even positive. I just thought it was a big room. Okay,
and the cafe, Roy's Cafe, they actually shot the Hitcher part of the Hitcher there.
The finger,
really?
The finger scene.
Yeah,
the French fries and the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Or the finger of the French fries.
French fried fingers.
The fingers and the French fries and the fingers. Sorry, that's hilarious.
Oh fuck, that's good. So then all of a sudden that ends, and we see, as the viewer, we're not. But this is a little easier of a transition. All of a sudden, a maid walks by and she puts a "Do Not Disturb" sign on that door, and then it cuts to these three girls, and then it goes on to their chapter is called Siren. So, you're left hanging with this guy in the beginning, and at first you don't know. I was kind of confused. It's a different type of format the way they loop it, but it's cool. So, they're doing their thing, and of course I didn't mention Larry Fessenden being the DJ, which is kind of narrative.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. He was terrific.
He was terrific, and if you listen to what he said, it's kind of prophetic for each chapter.
Yeah, very important to pay attention to what he's saying.
It definitely is. And so I'm sorry, I got confused. Was that bar called the Freezing Over?
Wait, what? I'm sorry?
The name of the place was called the Freezing Over. The bar they stopped at in the beginning. Not the bar, but the fucking...
Roy's Cafe?
It's Roy's Cafe. Okay, so the Freezing Over is later. It's another place. Okay. I know there's a place called the Freezing Over in this place, and I think that's kind of clever that they called it that. But anyway, he's in room 6255 as well. That's his hotel room. And he's in there. And then we see the girl. The one girl is kind of like the main girl. Her name is Zoe. The girl in
Sadie.
Camouflage.
Sadie.
Zoe.
Sadie.
Really? So Sadie's the girl in the camouflage?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, she's a cute one, too.
Yeah, Sadie, Kimberly, and Ava.
Oh.
A 3-girl band that you learn used to be a 4-girl band.
Yeah.
Right. And who the fuck is Zoe? Where am I getting that from?
You're making it up.
Wow, I could have sworn
Clearly.
it was Zoe. Wow, I'm fucking losing it. Okay. So, so these people are these three chicks are in a band together. They hung out. They're hung over. They're getting up. They're getting ready to go to their next gig. They're in this truck, and they're cruising. And then they get a flat tire, and then a couple comes across them, an older couple, kind of like in their 50s or something, and they pull up, and like, well, do you need a ride, or we have, what do they say? We have, we can help you, or we have a friend that can change the tire or something like that.
Yeah, I have a friend who has a tire.
And the one girl is real standoffish about it. I don't blame her. I mean, I hope that's my daughter when she's, that age.
No, that was good to see because she was actually reacting the way that you would hope to. She wasn't basically like, oh, I'll get in the car.
Yeah.
But then ultimately, they decided to go because, honestly, probably in that situation, you'd wind up going anyway because they say the nearest town is like 4 hours back the other way and it's not even open until tomorrow to get a tire.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to just stay out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they were stuck and fucked. There was
Yeah.
I guess AAA, they couldn't come because they didn't have the address. They didn't know where the fuck they were. They were on some road in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah.
So then they go back to these people's house, and it's they almost come right out with it the way the couple's acting. They're acting very normal, but you can see that they're a little bit too cheerful. Like we've seen this too many times before, where it's probably going to be trouble. That's the vibe I got. Is that
and clearly they're dressed and their house and everything is like from the past. Everything's from like the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when two crazy looking twin boys show up, you're in for a hell night.
Yeah, and you get served a really disgusting looking piece of meat.
Oh, that's evidently very delicious.
Very delicious, except you start puking green and black vomit.
Yeah, it completely changes fucking.
See, I would have been safe in this story because then the medicine that he gives to the girls is milk, and Jews do not mix milk and dairy and meat. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. I would have been I think we all would have been out of there when he started making that prayer before the meal. Because the way they said it, "Oh, divine one." We're going to bow to you, and something about vessels and the master. I'm like, you don't pray to God that way when you pray.
Check, please.
Right.
Even before that, the wife said something to Sadie about, I'm so sorry about Alex. And she's like, what? Right. How the hell did you know that?
Right. So there's that whole other thing about Alex. She feels guilty about this Alex, but no one else is hearing what she's saying.
Yeah.
The girl says it to her, and then later on someone else says something. Oh, no. The other girl says something about Alex to her. Yeah. And basically spells the whole thing out after dinner, because she doesn't eat the meat because she's a vegetarian. So her other two friends eat it, and after they eat the meat, first they get sick, and then the one girl starts talking shit to her about Alex. You went off and you fucked some guy. What was it? Do you guys even know what it was?
You left, that she went off, she left her there to die.
So somehow this girl got killed.
Yeah.
She was the fourth member of the band. She got killed, and the other girl was off hooking up with some guy. And
this is probably the second story that's closest to, like, wanting a little bit more information, but it does give you enough little hints to figure out that ultimately her guilt is grounded in reason because she clearly had something to do and feels guilty and is guilty in some way. They even flash a picture of the four of them, and you can see on one end is Sadie, and on the other end is Alex, and Sadie's like giving Alex a dirty look.
Really?
In the picture, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that deep into that. I did see one thing. I saw that at one point there was like a being behind a fucking glass that was looking at her.
Yes, yeah, and then the boys say, "Weren't there four of you?"
Right.
There was this. Honestly, I've pieced enough together in my mind anyway, where I'm starting to enjoy this movie more and more just as we talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm with you. Yeah.
But really well done.
However. And again, I don't know how to do this without spoilers, so I'm going to try to do this.
No, because I know what you're going to say, and I have the answer for it in the spoilers. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay.
So let's move on. There's a ritual. The girl goes to sleep. She wakes up and she sees this ritual, and they're all practicing some type of witchcraft. And her two friends are completely involved that they're going to get eternal life or they're never going to get old. They're telling them they're putting something on their head. They're doing this shit to them. They're inducting these people into their fucking cult or whatever. And this girl that didn't eat the meat and it's, bugging out about the dead friend and everything else. And, she's been kind of standoffish the whole time. One thing leads to another. She ends up getting away. She gets out on the street. As soon as she gets out on the street, it flashes over to some guy, and he's talking to his wife, and he's playing in his cell phone. He's sending her pictures. He goes, "Oh, you're going to wear black to this thing?" Whatever the fuck. He's fucking with his phone, and he ends up hitting the girl. The girl that just got away from this party gets fucking hit, flies in the air, boom. Takes a terrible accident. And then, this guy's name is Mitch, and, he's bugging the fuck out. He tells his wife, "I got to call you back," and then he calls 911.
His name's Lucas. Mitch is from the beginning of the movie. Jack and Mitch.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I just love that Dave said. I should let it go because Dave says it with such confidence. This guy's name is Mitch. It's Lucas.
It is Lucas too. I know it is. What the fuck? Because he said it over and over again. Lucas. They're talking to him.
Yeah, this story was pretty easy to follow because it's really only 1.5 characters.
Yeah, funny. It's so funny. But can I lead up, since I wasn't sure we were going to talk about her getting hit, because I didn't know if that was spoiling it, but you can't not talk about it because it leads into the next segment. However, I was disappointed with how Siren ended because it's like just about to get good and it just ends. So I did admittedly when I watched it, I was just like, what? So that's where you're going. But then I was all aboard for the next segment because the next segment, the accident, was one of my favorites. However, I thought Siren just ended without any real resolution or without any real.
No, I'm telling you, I have an explanation for it,
right?
But I would have loved to have seen more. But there's a very simple explanation, things that were being said throughout the whole thing, and something that happened, and that's why it ended the way it did.
Yep, so we're going to get into some fucking saucy spoilers, man.
We'll come back to saucy spoilers later.
Yeah,
saucy spoilers.
Yep. They're saucy, man.
Saucy Southbound spoilers.
Yeah, triple S. Yeah. So I got one thing right. I can't get anybody's name right. Who the fuck is Mitch? Is there a Mitch?
Mitch and Jack were the two guys at the beginning. Mitch is the one with the daughter.
Okay.
And his name is Mitch. No, it's Lucas. Beautiful.
So
the accident. So they're driving down that long road. I thought this was shot well because it's just him. Yeah, and then girl all really grossly bloodied and gross and calling 911. And I thought that was fantastic. The way that he's sort of being walked through this and he gets to the creepy town. Or he gets to the town, sorry. And it's just desolate. Nothing there. I thought that was great, and how he was being walked through this process by the people on the phone. And he's got to help her, even though he has no medical experience whatsoever. They're walking him through a procedure to hopefully save her life.
Well, just the fact that they asked him to pick up the girl and put her in her car was fucked up. Right then and there, I'm like, what the fuck? Because that doesn't happen. You call 911. If they can't get you there, they never say, pick up the girl and fucking... She's twitching, and this is going on. And
at this point in the movie, though, even from the opening scene, when you start to see those things outside the windows following them, we're not dealing with the ordinary world.
Right? Yeah, I know. I just
you don't know what's going on, but this is some crazy, trippy shit.
Yeah, and you can see those things, those beings in every segment. At one point or another, those things in the sky. Okay, I didn't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
what's also very badass is when he takes her out of the car into the hospital.
It's empty.
No, not that. When does the arm or the leg sort of just fall off of her?
He does tourniquet it, but then it falls off at some point.
Yeah, it was unsettling to say the least.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the goriest segment by far.
It was gory.
Then
he's trying to put a tube down her throat and
man. I didn't like that at all, that part.
Oof. And lightweight compared to what happens in the 2 minutes following. Because I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah, but what happens later on? If that ever happened to me, I'd be so gone by that time anyway. But anytime you're talking about tubes going in the nose or in the mouth and shit, that's stuff that really happens when you're conscious in a hospital for lots of different reasons. I could see that happening to me easily. You know, even if you get food poisoning, they'll put a fucking tube in your throat or your nose or something. But you know, that's why I relate to that. That shit fucks me up. That's why it's disturbing. I could see it happening to me. Now, if you're talking about surgery and cutting me open, you know, usually you're out when that happens. I mean, in this case, she wasn't. But
at that point, I would have said, "Just kill me. Do not cut me open and try to massage my lungs."
The poor girl couldn't talk. She couldn't do anything, man. It was fucking impromptu surgery in an empty hospital, and this guy has to perform it. And I'll give him props for that, because he hits the girl. He fucks up. He's on his phone with his wife, not paying attention to the road. He could have been a hit-and-run asshole, and he wasn't. He does the right thing.
Which is, I think, what saves him in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say here, because I don't know if it's spoilers or not, but...
Well, this is definitely spoilers, because I think we might have different interpretations about this one.
We'll wait to that part, but I mean, he says saves him in the end, and I'm okay to say that. In the end, he, he does all the stuff. He has the surgery. They talk him through the surgery. They say do this. They say that fucking, he has to massage the lung, and he has to make some cuts and do this, and there's nobody in this hospital. So he has to perform all this surgery. He's putting tubes in her, all this shit. She's beyond fucked up. She is fucking on the way out. And he does all this stuff. He does everything he can to help her, just by the direction of the people. A 911 on the phone, they say that there's a surgeon on there too, so all of a sudden he's talking to 3 people, and they're talking to him in his fucking phones. And he's got his phone, and he's got earbuds in, and he's talking to them, and he just follows their orders and does the best he could. And then at the end of the day, he leaves the hospital and he drives off. And that's where it ends off. And then the next thing
it's such a great segment.
The next thing I recall seeing is the girl in the phone booth, and she was one of the people on the phone with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
She actually wasn't one of the voices, because I looked it up and I got confused, because she actually wasn't one of the voices, but you're supposed to imply that she was.
In the narrative, yeah.
In the narrative she wasn't, but that's I love that segment, because I have a different interpretation of that segment, and we'll get into it.
Oh,
and
saucy.
But
so let's continue on then. So now this girl hangs up the phone. He says, "Can I do this or something?" He's talking to her. She says, "Okay, thank you." And then she hangs up the phone. So she was one of the people that was on the phone.
He gets into a car, drives off, and she walks into the bar for the next
segment. She walks into the bar. I think that might have been Freezing Over. That might have been the bar. I know.
Yeah, I believe that was the name of the bar.
That was the one. So now she goes into this fucking bar. And, she sits down, has a drink, she's talking to the bartender and whatever. Then this guy comes in with a gun, and he's a fucking lunatic, and you think he's gonna rob the place, but he's like, "I'm out here to rob. I'm looking for this girl. My sister's missing." And
what's the sister's name?
What is the sister's name?
I'm sorry, Dave.
Is it Zoe?
It's Jesse.
Fuck. Okay. So he's looking for Jesse. And that's when all that shit happens that we talked about earlier. That he said, "I'm not here to rob you, but I need to find this girl. Has anyone seen this girl?" And then, I don't know what the fuck. What happened after that? Why did the guy get ornery with him about saying this is no regular bar or something? Like, what did he do to cause that? Just because he was pointing the gun at them, asking where the girl was?
Because it was no regular bar. He was...
I know that.
Yeah.
But what made him upset? Because the guy had the gun? I understand that if he comes and pointing the gun and they thought it was a robbery at first, of course that's a problem. But he says, "No, I just want to know where my sister is. Can anybody help me find my sister?"
He evidently doesn't belong there.
Well, yeah.
Clearly.
Right. Okay, so they're not going to help him, basically.
No.
But somehow, one thing leads to another, something happens, we get a good fucking gore scene there.
Yeah.
With the guy's arm. The bar patron that was talking tough. And he thought it was going to lead to something. Like I said before, he thought he was going to morph into something else, and it was going to be like fucking From Dusk Till Dawn. You know? Like, you went into the wrong bar. You could have chose all these bars, you walked into here, and we're all fucking werewolves or something. That's what I thought it was.
Or like a Bronx Tale, where they lock the doors, like, now you can't leave.
Exactly. But that doesn't exactly happen. And the bartender gets in the car with the guy with the gun.
Yeah, he kidnaps the bartender.
And he says, I know where this girl is. I've seen this girl. Am I right so far?
You're right.
So then they go to this place, and it's like the site of some convenience store. And maybe that's the fucking Frozen over. I don't know. But they go to some convenience store. It's all going to come out later when we get into spoilers, you know?
Yeah.
I know about this. He takes the guy for a ride. That shit was crazy. When they get there, and he's like, yes, you got to come over here. And then he's like, what are you talking about? Is it just the side of a building? And the guy puts his hand over his eye, and when that fucking he has a tattoo on his hand of an eye, and the fucking eye blinks. Oh, man. That shit was fucking awesome.
Yep.
Seriously, that was a good effect. And then, what, there's a secret door they go into or something?
Yeah, goes into the tattoo parlor.
That's what the eye does for this guy.
Yeah.
He's got this tattoo, and the eye causes him to see things that everybody else can't see. So he's involved in some fucked up shit. And some door opens. They go in this door, and it's this tattoo parlor. Yeah, I can talk. Tattoo parlor. And the next thing you know, he sees his sister. She's giving somebody a tattoo. Something's going on. She goes out. She's happy. And next thing I know, there's an exploding head. That's all I remember. Right. Didn't that guy's fucking head explode?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Didn't the guy blow it off?
Yeah, he blew his head off.
Yeah.
Exploding head, man. I had to make a note of that. Yeah. And then on the way there, they're told not to go into the desert. The bartender says, don't go into the desert. Because he said something about going in there for some reason. Or he's like, no, you can't go in there. So then, what happens there?
He takes the sister and drives into the desert. She doesn't want to go, though. She
Right.
wants to stay.
But he sees her, and she's like, you look so old. He goes, I've been looking for you for 13 years, he says.
13 years, yeah.
So he hasn't seen his sister in fucking 13 years. She's been missing. He's been hunting.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't want to leave, but then he blows the guy's head off, and they go off, and they're driving, and yeah, like you said, she said the same thing. Don't go in the desert. And he's like, I gotta go somewhere. I don't know how and why that happened exactly.
He was trying to rescue her, but there's revelations about what happened. She tells the story, and then you know what's ultimately going to happen, and eventually it ends with her heading back to the tattoo parlor. And right before she goes into the tattoo parlor, she sees around the corner a girl looking at her, and it turns out to be Jem, the daughter from the next segment, from The Way In.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm leaving out what happens in the desert and stuff, and the revelation of it.
That's okay.
Just till spoilers and stuff. But
right.
But basically, when she's back at the tattoo parlor, she sees Jem, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And then the girl turns around and walks back with her family. And what were they getting ice cream or something?
I don't know what they were doing.
I don't know where they were. I forgot now, but they were somewhere. They were getting something, and they were about to head home.
Well, because there was a restaurant. The tattoo parlor was hidden on the side of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so they were leaving the restaurant or whatever, and the mother, father, and daughter.
Yeah, then they all get together and they leave and they say something's going on. They make it look like she's getting ready to go to college or something.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. That she's about ready to leave for college.
And then they go to some condo or something like that, and it's the same address as what do you call it, 6255, as the hotel room of the guy in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. And they go in there, and then they're in this hotel room. Then all of a sudden, did you guys find it weird that all of a sudden the guy immediately looks outside the window and he says, "Call fucking 911"?
They were there for a bit, and there was a noise or something.
Yeah, there was knocking. There was knocking on the door, and then there was knocking at the back door. Yeah.
So the knocking was the catalyst there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that was it. See, I took it as he heard a little noise. He looked outside the window. He saw a person staring at him, and immediately he tells his family, "Call 911." I'm like, damn, that's I
Yeah,
understand.
he heard knocking at the front. Then he went there. He looked. No one was there. He heard knocking at the back, and then he knew something was up.
So he justified in that call. You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. For some reason, I must not have noticed both knocks. It seemed to me like the dude looked out the window and he saw a person standing there, and he said, "Call the cops." I was like, "What?" But okay, all right. So then, next thing you know, it becomes a home invasion at this point, and these people come in. And how about those masks they had on?
Creepy.
Creepy,
Right?
yeah. Creepy.
You know what they look like? They look like masks of just other people,
Yes.
right? The one kind of looked like you know that cop that pissed on the grave in fucking Taylor.
Yes, I was just about to say it looked like Billy.
Billy, yeah, the second guy. Yes,
Yes.
I can't believe you made that connection.
Shit. I was thinking that. I'm like, it looked like Billy. But I'm like, I'm not gonna say it. And you say it. Oh man, that's
That's
awesome.
hilarious.
That is awesome. Holy fuck! And
Billy Newton, the puppet.
Billy Newton. And the other guys, they were cool masks because they just look like.
Yeah,
I want to say this. They're supposed to look like these famous people, but not really like sea actors that I've seen before. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know how else you can describe it. I don't know. They had these masks on, and then I don't know. The guy came in. They come in the hotel or the condo, whatever the hell it was, and it seems like they're whispering something to the one person, to the guy and to the wife or something.
they whisper to the wife about the husband because she says, "Why are you doing this?"
Oh, okay. She says, "Why are you doing?" Okay, and then they let the girl go. Cause doesn't the girl come out and like cause a fucking stink? And then
Yeah, she stabs one of them because there's three of them. She stabs one of them and hits him with a bat, but then they ultimately let her go.
they tell her to go. Literally,
Yeah.
they said go. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? They're letting this chick go?
Yep.
And then once again, all of a sudden, you see a guy take out one of the guys with the masks takes out a picture of the girl and he shows it to fucking the husband or the wife,
The husband.
and it's the same picture of the girl that we saw in the beginning when the two guys were driving in the truck cruising away and the guy was holding a picture of a girl.
Yep.
So I guess that's where we leave it at, right? That's
I think that's a perfect place to leave it.
yeah. Okay. So now I guess we can go into spoilers now. Is there anything else to add before?
Should we rate it first?
Yeah, we can rate it first.
Well, it's difficult to rate to get
I
my final rating because I wanted, if I can get some explanation into.
Right, I agree. Do the first rating. That's why we created two ratings. Do the fucking the head rating.
Okay.
For
Well, my
now.
head was half blown. I said
I'm
right
with
now
you.
my head was half blown.
I agree. My head's half blown right now too.
Yep. Make that 1.5 heads blown.
So combined, one head completely blown and one half. Okay, so 1.5 heads blown, which is a pretty good rating, and I guess we'll get into spoilers. We'll count them down: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers.
Very good. Okay, where are we gonna start?
Okay, well I'll start with this. So we're under the impression that everyone here is in limbo or purgatory.
Everyone is dead.
Everyone is dead
Everyone is dead and is in purgatory, limbo.
with no chance to escape.
The only ones who I believe have a chance of getting out are the ones that the creatures come out of. They're
So
they're
mom-
considered
What?
they're the lost souls.
Holy fuck. Wow, really? That just happens to be that family, though. The only
It didn't come out of the father though, because he was bad.
It didn't come out of the father? I thought it came out of the father and the mother and the daughter. And that was it. So I thought they were getting revenge, and they even said it in the beginning.
No, the
They
father
said-
was bad. The father was a bad dude.
I understand that because he supposedly killed
He
the
killed,
other girl.
Yeah, he was probably a rapist and a killer.
Right.
The girl in the picture for everybody that.
Yeah, Catherine, Mitch's daughter from the first segment.
Okay, so wait a minute. So it can't be the guy, but it can be the girl and her mother as being those beings.
Notice how the monsters do not surface and start coming out until after Jack and Mitch killed Jem. They were not supposed to kill Jem. Even though they let her go and she came back, they were still not supposed to kill her because she was not bad.
Well, neither was the wife, really. Just the only one that was bad was the husband. They were just retaliating for what happened to his daughter.
But trying to break this cycle, they were only going to break this cycle if they let the daughter live.
So wait, okay. Now I'm confused. Because I'm thinking that everybody's on their way to hell and they're in fucking purgatory or limbo.
They're not on their way to hell. They are in hell, and they're just going to keep repeating this over and over until they break the cycle. Nobody redeemed themselves. Everybody, it's just going to continuously play on a loop because none of them in any of the stories redeemed themselves.
Which is why we end that first segment the way we do. That's how it ends for him, really. It just is a continuous loop. That's what I got from it.
I agree, and that's badass, because that would be hell when they're in the same loop and they keep coming to the same place. Absolutely. That's totally...
His daughter's screaming for help or whatever like that. Oh, God.
Yeah, he has to go back and watch that over and over because in the end, he killed someone else's daughter.
Because he fucked up.
He killed someone else's daughter. He did the very crime that he was getting revenge for. And then with the girls, with Siren, with the three girls, the reason why Alex got hit by the car and ultimately died as a result is because throughout the whole story, everybody's referencing, I wish you didn't leave Alex. Sadie, they're referencing to Sadie, I wish you didn't leave Alex. Why did you leave Alex? And then at the very end of Siren, when her friends are in trouble, they're at the ritual, she kicks them and leaves them there and runs away. She leaves her friends again. So she's doomed to repeat this and keep dying, getting hit by that car over and over.
Well, what about her friends? What did they do so wrong? Why are they fucking Satanists now?
They didn't do anything wrong. She just wasn't supposed to leave them. My guess if she had stayed, no matter what the outcome would have been, if they attacked her or whatever, her soul would have been saved.
Why are they being punished? Why are those two girls being punished? They're innocent, correct? Why are they fucking in hell? That's what I don't get. See what I'm saying? I think it's just her limbo. I think it's fucking... I keep calling her Zoe. What's her name? Okay, I think it's just...
They're not actually there, but in her mind they're there.
Yeah, they might not... you know what, that could be. That we can make sense of it that way. They might not actually be there, but...
Right, it's her hell.
But the whole point is that her guilt for killing Alex, her chance at redemption in here is to save her friends, and she doesn't do it.
Which is why that segment just ends.
It just ends.
Because we're really following her story here.
Yeah, we're just following her. Once she's hit, it's over. I mean, I would have loved to know what the hell was going on with the whole witchcraft stuff, but it was still okay for me.
I can dig it, but I'll tell you what.
The accident.
Yes, he gets away. He does the right thing and he gets off.
Oh, he doesn't do the right thing, though.
Uh-oh. Okay, what's he
doesn't because... Because he's trapped in the hospital, and he says... He even says, he's talking to the people on the phone, he says, I don't deserve this.
Right.
And then once he says, I don't deserve this, it wasn't my fault. And then they tell him to find the locker room. So what he does, he goes to the locker room.
Yep.
He changes his outfit. And what he's actually doing is putting on the same outfit he's wearing, just a clean version of it. He goes outside to his car, gets into a brand new car, which happens to be the same car, just not all cracked up. And he drives off, not taking responsibility for what he did. And he's doomed to drive down that highway, southbound again, to hit her again. And keep playing it over and over on a loop.
Really?
Yep.
See, I didn't get that from it. I thought that because he did the right thing and did everything in his power to save her and blew off his wife and said this and that, I did something wrong, let me save this chick. I was on the phone, it's a bad thing, but I'm not evil for it. So I'm going to try to, make amends. So I thought he did everything he could to help her, and at the end, they let him go. They gave him a new car, they gave him new stuff, and they said, okay, you're clean, you can go off, and you've escaped.
No, if you notice, he puts the headphones back on, and they're clean. It's the same outfit. It's just and the same car. It's just everything's clean again, so he's going to go repeat it. And I think it has to do with him not taking responsibility for it and thinking, I don't deserve this.
Wow. What did you think, Christian? Were you thinking like I was that he got off?
No, but it's funny. Brandon just totally fleshed it all out, and that's I think where my mind was going. But definitely, my head just exploded from his explanation in a good way, because that's
right.
I think that does just make total sense. I didn't think he got away. It was left on a very odd note because he like she did die in his arms, and then they laughed, and it was up to it. Like he was blaming them for it, and that he wasn't supposed to be there, and he's a good person, this and the other thing. So it was left kind of in limbo.
He made reference that she came out of nowhere. There was nothing I could do. He never once said, "I'm so sorry."
Wow.
You know, maybe it wasn't even about taking responsibility. Maybe it was about being remorseful.
Yeah,
I understand. He did everything textbook what you should do. You know, tried to call for help, get her help, this and that, but he just wasn't remorseful in the end.
Damn.
It's funny because I think that was one of the things I needed the closure on the siren leading into that, because it just felt like it ended, and I did want to know more about her friends there and the cult, but it was really about the other girl, and then the accident. I just wanted to see what your take was on that, and Jailbreak was pretty much sort of the same idea. It's someone trying to, so like, I guess, was he in hell, or was he trying to break her out of hell? Because that's how I was looking at it.
Well, did you notice he had a tattoo also?
Hmm.
Didn't he, Danny? The one who's looking for his sister?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he had a tattoo also, and I think the bartender asked him, "Where did you get that tattoo?" Meaning he didn't deserve that tattoo. He wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't supposed to be there. But he broke in there to try to get his sister out.
Oh, wait a minute. I think that he was a bad guy. I think that him and his sister both killed their parents.
No, the sister killed the parents.
The sister admitted to it.
I thought they both did it together, and that's why he got his comeuppance at the end with fucking in the desert, because he was bad.
No, I think he got it because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to go out in the desert. He wasn't supposed to be there. He didn't belong.
It's just that simple? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And fucking, she's in hell and doesn't realize it's in hell, and that's why she's comfortable with it.
She's where she wants to be.
But that's the scary part of it.
Yeah.
No, I think she does realize that. I think she's like one of those stories where she's just like evil. She knows it.
I don't think that she realized. I think that that's the scary thing about hell, is that when you're there, you can't even tell. That's what's fucked up. She thinks that she's doing okay, but she's really in hell, and she doesn't realize it at this point. She's comfortable being there, but you know,
she might not have a label for where she is, whether it's hell or purgatory, but she knows she's not in a good place, but she's with people that she belongs with. She's with other bad people.
Yeah, but she should be getting punished if she's in hell, correct? I just think I don't know, I think that's part of the punishment, that you don't even realize you're there. That's like the scariest thought of it all, that you're fucking, I don't know. See, it's pretty deep because it taps into fucking religious thoughts and hell and purgatory, which is a Catholic thing.
And this will be a good movie to watch with subtitles on and really get everything that Larry Fessenden is saying, and really.
Oh, I know what he said.
I know what he's saying, but you know, to really just to really pay attention to every word, just to see if there's anything hidden that you might have missed. But
well, he's very much like, he says something about being able to get out at one point. He says, hold on and don't ever let go. Sometimes it's positive, and then he says something like, you can't undo what's been done. Nobody's going to buy your bullshit, or something like that.
Yeah, and that's basically why that they repeat themselves, because they're all full of shit. And it'll continue forever like that until they break it, and ultimately, once the cycle's broken, then they could either go to heaven or hell, I guess. I view it more as a purgatory.
So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it is like a purgatory, but you think that everybody fails.
Everybody failed in the movie, yes.
It's a purgatory, and everybody fucking ends up in hell. Nobody does the right thing.
Well, no, they don't end up in hell. They just have to keep repeating it.
Which that would be hell, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Think?
So is it hell or is it purgatory? I mean, that's one of the things. It's
right.
Like you could argue it both ways.
but it's Southbound. I think, and it's a pentagram. The whole thing, right?
It just keeps going. It never. There's no end.
That's deep shit. That sounds like fucking hell to me. That's like repetition. You know, that's just like the same bad things happening over and over and over again. Holy fuck. That's crazy. See,
yeah, and in the final story, you could kind of take it that the parents and the daughter, that the daughter is much like the friends in Siren, that she might not be dead, but she's just a figment of maybe Mitch and Jack's imagination, and they're supposed to let her live and not do what they're trying to avenge, which is the death of his daughter.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she comes back and they kill her, and then the lost souls creatures pop up, and they get out of there, and they chase them into town, and they pull into Roy's diner, and it starts back up again.
Damn. And what about the freezing over? See, that's a representation to hell.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a nod, if you will. It's fucking.
There's a lot there. I mean, look, this is all on first time watch. That's why I think we've all said that this movie is just gonna. Not only is it definitely worth buying, but it's gonna be a multiple view. I'm gonna love to hear if they have director's commentaries or any sort of commentaries on the release. But I was so blown away by this film, and like we said earlier, the music and the soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh, that soundtrack. Yeah. What's the name of the...
I loved all the music and all the scores and everything in it. It was great. The Gifted, yeah. The Gifted, phenomenal.
Damn, they did good. It was like an old Carpenter fucking...
Yeah, because I'll be the first one to say that sometimes I don't really notice the music, even in movies that are notorious for having great music. Because I usually get... But that was like one of the first thing I noticed when it started. I was like, oh, I'm really digging the score and all the music in this.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, whatever my final number is going to be, I still say this is a head explosion. Pleasantly surprised, because I had heard very mixed reviews.
I can't wait to watch it.
And I think it's one of those films that's going to have very mixed reviews. I mean, all films pretty much do. There's very few films, unless they're all-time classics, where you hear no one say anything but positive things. But, with it being a modern film, people will shit on it, but not me.
No, why would you? I mean, if it's good, it's good.
And I can only see my grade going up.
Mine's already gone up. Gone up.
Yeah, I didn't even write down a grade, to be honest. I didn't have a grade written down for... I had a ballpark for where I wanted to be for Tales from the Hood. It wasn't really going to change, but I didn't write it down. For this one, I definitely didn't write it down, because I knew that the conversation and finding out a few things and seeing what you guys thought about certain things was going to influence it, one way or the other, and it definitely influenced it positively.
Mine's fluctuated so much it's ridiculous, because I watched it and I said one thing about it. Then I started reading this afternoon, and then I bumped it up some more just because of what I was reading. And I was like, okay, wait a minute, check that. And I got to watch it a second time. Then talking tonight, it went up more. So it's been like, and I really can't wait to watch it the second time.
Yeah, this was a great film. Really beautifully shot. All the directors did a great job. It flowed really well. It didn't feel like, there were four groups of directors. It didn't feel like four different movies.
Right. And the acting was good. There was no problem.
The acting was very good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the acting. Nothing wrong with the script. There was good blood and gore, things like that, which I wasn't expecting. Usually, you ever notice that you don't tend to see a whole lot of the good stuff like that in anthology movies. I've noticed. They're usually not gory or bloody at all. And each segment had something like that happening in it. Not over the top, but enough to satisfy us. In the soundtrack.
Do you think this is an anthology that could spawn sequels? I mean, obviously it wouldn't be the same people, but maybe Larry Fessenden as the DJ again, telling fresh tales.
Definitely.
I don't know.
I don't know if I want to see it, because this one was so well done. I mean, it wouldn't obviously ruin this one for me.
No.
But it could be.
It could be. I just find this This one's so original, and
Very original.
I just don't think that they can reproduce something like that. I don't know, but you never know. I've said that before, and sequels have come out, but on top of that, most of the times the sequels aren't as good. So
Top notch.
I wouldn't mind it staying just the way it is, and without a sequel. Let these people that did this and that are responsible for VHS movies go on to something else and do something different. Tackle a different idea next time, like they did with this. They brought it with this movie, so why can't they bring it with a different concept again?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, shit. Wow. So we got anything else? Yeah, what are the numbers? No. What do you got? Anything else? Before we get our numbers out there? The numbers.
The shit.
Well, I'm going to give my number, and I don't know, it might go up. Because I've only watched it once. It's already gone up just from discussion and from reading about it. But right now, I'll play it safe, and I'll say 8 out of 10. I don't want to go too high and then regret it later. But I can always go up later and then feel good about it. So yeah. I'll say 8.
That's where I am. 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna come in with an 8 as well.
Wow.
And that came up. I was at 7.5, and honestly, I'm feeling even better about it. I was gonna go as high as 8.5, but I'm gonna wait for another viewing. But
yeah,
this is one that ultimately could continue to climb.
It's weird. I went from 6 to 7 to 8. When I finished the movie last night, I said 6. Then I read today. I read on IMDb, and I read some other places, and I was reading about it at my daughter's class. I had like an hour to myself, and I was just reading about it and different theories and shit. And I was like, okay. Then I brought it up to 7. Then we talked tonight, and it went up to 8. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it just keeps going up. Now the second view better fucking represent. That's all I can say.
I actually wanted to watch this right over again. So
me too.
That's always actually a good sign when you finish a movie and you're like, you know what, I might just start that over. And not because I'm falling asleep during it, just because I want to actually enjoy it again from the beginning.
Absolutely. I'm just glad that Brandon didn't want to jerk off because fucking he was bored by it. That's the best news.
Loved it. Loved it.
All right. Nice. See? I thought you were going to shit on it.
No.
Cool. So 8's all around. 24 total. A little bit short of Hall of Fame. One of these days, we're going to get a Hall of Famer, 28. Maybe next show. Of course, we don't know what we're doing yet, so. We should just review a classic just to get something in the Hall of Fame. Just to have it out there, you know? I don't know. Well, that'll do it. This has been a long, jam-packed show. Yeah. We're all tired. It's late. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have had a lot of fun listening. So we will see you again in a couple weeks for episode 8, which, like I said, we don't know what it is. But
we'll keep you posted.
That's right. We will keep you posted. Absolutely. So, everybody, like I say all the time, find us. We're on Facebook at EH Horror Podcast, on Twitter. Go to Horrorphilia. Check us out. Spread the news. And get shit going on. Exploding Heads Horror Podcast, the one and only. And we got anything else before we say goodbye?
No. I just wanted to be able to say goodnight.
Say
good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We're out of here like last year. Peace.